Yo.
Yo, what's up, my dude?
We're back.
Yeah.
Finally.
So
We're gonna go off.
We're gonna go off. Yeah, it's gonna be about drama. And I lowered the TTS back to $5 because Solana's crashing. So I need money. But yeah, no, this is.
There's so much drama right now,
especially on the epunk scene.
In our scene.
But we're talking about epunk
it's
stuff
so
today.
Bad.
We're talking about
Okay.
epunk stuff. We're gonna have a special guest today. Are you ready for that?
Yeah.
I scheduled it. It's from somebody that you were defending yesterday.
The girl that got punched?
Yes, we're getting Brynn on here.
No way.
Big get.
Yeah, Brynn.
I put a lot of work into it, so we're gonna get.
That must have been hard.
It was really, really hard. I DM'd her. I DM'd her, and I was looking for TV Qua's music. He was the guy who used to do the intros for our show, and then I couldn't find it because he took it all off of SoundCloud. So then I looked for procedurally generated chiptune music. I'm doing this as a joke, but I'm getting DMs from people inside the epunk scene right now. But we are getting Brynn. But Brynn is coming on in a few minutes. But we have multiple people from the inside, from the drama, on both sides listening in right now.
The handle?
We have
from both sides.
From both sides listening in, and they're ready.
A lot of pressure.
This is exciting.
So,
I'm really starting to understand why people do drama shows.
So Raven is DMing you, and Shooter's DMing you. Whoa.
So yeah.
And Hot Leather's in your DMs.
Yeah, Hot Leather. Yeah, he's making me pizza.
I've never heard of Hot Leather. I don't even get that joke. Everyone was, and I was like, haha, yeah, the pizza. I've never even.
He
heard
makes
of
pizza.
Hot
He makes
Leather
pizza. He works at a pizza store. He has pizza like a side thing, which makes sense if you're doing creative stuff.
Oh.
Either you can do drama streams in addition to your creative stuff, or you can have a real job. And he chose to have a real job.
We're back. That's what I said.
I told Brynn I was going to call her at 9:20, 9:30.
So Brynn's the one that got punched in the face.
Yeah, let me find the video. That
of
Brynn
wasn't
getting punched
Gezebelle.
in the face.
Garba gooba gooba.
Oh, I wish I could have gotten a VC with her.
Garba.
She's my
Shooter's in the
epunk.
chat. He says debate me.
Shooter says debate me.
And
We're
so
so bad.
excited.
We got 514 viewers. People love it. People love the sweat, and they are really happy to have it back.
The sweat dancer here, baby. Tonight, the legend returns.
Yeah, tonight.
The weekly sweat.
We're
with
so
Jimbo
back.
Zoomer and Paul Town.
We are so back. Actually, well, I am adding Brynn to the call right now. Oh, there she is. Are you there? Are you there, Brynn?
Talking, but I don't think you guys could hear me.
We can hear you now. I'm gonna
welcome.
Change
Hitler
the scene
Groiper.
here. Welcome Hitler Groiper to the scene here. But welcome. You're on the weekly sweat. You're on the first weekly sweat.
Awesome.
Yeah. Are you excited for that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're doing a drama show. The weekly sweat. It's a Jimbo created it a few years ago. We took a break for a bit, and we're back now.
We canceled the alt-right.
Yeah, we canceled the alt-right, and we're back now, and we're here to cancel people in music now. Apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a ton of cancelable people.
Yeah, we're here to destroy lives, and that's actually the number one motivation we have. So, I have a picture of you on the screen here with your face. Make people aware of, how you got involved with the scene, what the scene's really about, and your thoughts on it right now.
So, okay, actually, I don't know how to start. So let's just start with the punch. There was already a ton of drama going on between two groups of musicians in this.
Should we show the punch first? Can you send a link to the tweet with the punch video so we can see it, so people can be aware of it here?
It's pinned on my Twitter.
Is it pinned on your Twitter? All right, let's see.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Because no one's seen that yet.
So this is Brynn here. She's singing, and then who are the people with you here?
So the guy playing the guitar, actually my guitar, because his string broke last second. He's playing. That's Cyborg 9K.
Is that his real name?
I found him, no.
Oh, okay, I just want to make sure.
But it's in reference to R9K, like 4chan reference, right?
Okay. Oh, are you one of those 4chan trolls? Would you consider yourself part of like the 4chan community?
When I was younger, I used to play a lot of League of Legends, and I would always be on 4chan. I'd be on R9K a lot.
So you're a femcel.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, like my worst nightmare is like falling in love with somebody and finding out they're like a 4chan troll, because then I'd be scared.
That would be pretty terrible.
Yeah. But anyway, so tell me, so the guy with the helmet on is the R9K guy?
Yeah, Cyborg 9K or C9K.
Right, Cyborg 9K, okay. Who else is there?
Jezebelle's playing the drums for me on my set. Jezebelle Gabergably.
I'm a big fan of Jezebelle. It's a good burglary.
I love her.
Gabergably. Yeah.
Okay, so is it true that you guys are related, you and Gezebelle?
Well, I feel like she's like a little sister to me because like everyone kind of like ignored us at the whole entire show, and it was really awkward because like everyone was really cold to us. But then we were just like, we don't give a fuck. Like we're here and we're cool people and we were hanging out, and naturally, I mean, Jezebel attracted majority of the fans there. Like people were coming up to her and they're like, Jezebel, I literally came like to see you. So me and Jez, we were like, we don't give a fuck. Like fuck everyone here.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's you're awesome too, but Jimbo's more of a Brynn stan. I'm more of a Jezebel stan, but
Yeah.
I respect both. Now, so who? This is the guy who punched you on the right here. Who is this guy?
Yeah, that is Zaril.
Okay, that's surreal. Is it true that
And
he's
he's playing bass.
FTM? Is it true that he's female to male?
I don't think so. I think he's just a very petite man. He's
Okay,
like 5'4".
because Jimbo told me he was female to male transgender.
Nope, I think he's a dude for sure. You
Okay.
can tell.
That was a rumor I'd heard.
But that's the rumor
Yeah.
that Jimbo was
Who
telling me
knows?
was for
Who knows?
sure.
He might-
It's a video here. When was this?
This was April 22nd,
Mhm.
which is also Earth Day.
It's awesome.
And
Do you think there's astrological significance to getting rocked on Earth Day?
I have honestly, Shooter was saying something about it being like a humiliation, like satanic ritual.
Did they say 666 before they punched you?
We heard that.
Honestly, I was just finishing my song "Girls with Guns Just Want to Have Fun," and Zaril was playing bass and was completely out of tune with the rest, like with the guitar and drums. And it was really hard to fucking sing the song right because he was out of tune.
hmm
The chords were fucking like C, E, A minor, G, but I don't know what the fuck he was playing.
So
Go ahead.
So he could have been chanting Satan or something.
Who knows? He had something drawn on his stomach, like
Holy.
What type of sick freak has stuff drawn on their stomach? Let's watch the video here. It's 24 seconds, and we'll watch it here.
How you do it?
Was that now? So you got punched in the face. Was that like a full force punch, or was that a half?
That was him punching me in the face as hard as possible. And he broke the bass amp. Sorry, I can see everyone in the chat like telling me to stop swearing. Also, I'm not brown. I'm half Korean, half white.
That is so red pilled.
So this is why Shooter
Are you
is Shooter
kidding me?
is Shooter siding with you because you're half Korean. Is that really what's going on here?
Maybe he might be my distant cousin. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not brown. You just want to clear that up. That's why you came on here to tell people you're not brown.
Just to clarify, not
I'm
brown.
like offended. I'm like, listen, like, if anything, white, yellow.
Mhm.
Hitler Groiper is not happy with these accusations.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so that you say you got punched, and apparently it went through your lip. Is that what happened?
My tooth went through my lip completely, and I have like a scar on my face from it. Scab peeled off today,
Mhm.
and then my tooth got chipped, and I have to get a concussion test. But I was supposed to go to urgent care, but I can do it for free through my school. My school also contacted me, the student support team, the psychiatric and counseling services, and then also like the student conduct office. So my university saw it too. I'm in Greek life at my school, and someone in Greek life reported it to the health services office because I think everyone thinks I'm going to kill myself.
Do you think you're going to, or are you going to kill somebody else?
Um,
Would you say it's more likely that you kill somebody else or you kill yourself in terms of just probability? Not saying either one's going to happen, but
honestly, I'd probably never kill somebody else just because like I couldn't do that to someone, but I could definitely kill myself. But I'm not going to kill myself.
yeah. Because honestly, I'm looking at a picture of you after you got punched. You don't look like it. You don't have the hateful, the beady, hateful eyes that I have in some of my
Only
pictures.
suicide.
Yeah, you look like
Those
you'd
eyes.
be
True.
yeah.
True,
Okay.
those are the topics of my songs mostly.
Yeah. Now to clarify, would you consider yourself epunk? Would you consider yourself Incelcore or dark girl core or non-brown girl Korean core?
So when I first started, I really liked the term Incelcore because I thought it was funny. So then I was like, I'm Incelcore. And they're like, you can't make Incelcore. You're not an incel. And I was like, but I'm a Bryncel.
So you're Bryncelcore.
Bryncellcore or Femcelcore.
Okay.
But then they're like, femcells aren't real, but Bryncel just works too well. And I'm sure I have a ton of Bryncels in the chat too.
Yeah. Honestly, all the guys in the chat are Bryncels. Jimbo, would you consider yourself a Brynn cell?
Absolute Brynn cell.
I'm a Gezebelle.
I haven't heard either of your music, but I'm a total Brynn cell, Garbagoobly stan. I love. Oh yeah.
Are you a snail man, Jimbo?
Yeah, I'm a.
You're snail man.
He's snail pilled. Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
Now, is it true that so here's the question: was it you who set up the idea for a punch, or was it this guy, this deranged Satanist freak,
Let me start
female to male transgender?
So, there was already drama in the whole like Incelcore epunk scene.
So you're saying when you get a bunch of women together, there's drama? That's surprising.
Well, it was after the whole Yaller Hornet thing where he tried to accuse like an underage girl of raping him, but he just cheated on his girlfriend and then got caught. And
so
then,
he accused a girl of raping him?
Yeah, and she was a minor too, and then he like gaslit his whole fan base to try and cancel her.
That's like, Your Honor,
a 16-year-old girl raped me.
Your Honor, the child came onto me.
He wanted to get away with it. But then like, there's incels in here, so they were like, we believe this guy over this woman, even though the story made no sense. There's no way.
I need supporters like that.
That's kind of like us.
Yeah.
But then but I felt bad because like I was friends with people on like both sides, and I wanted to see if like, we were all here for music. I wanted to get everyone together to play music. So Zaril asked me if I wanted him to play bass, and I was like, yeah, you should play bass, because then all of us are all together and like we can like prove that like both sides can get along. And then I got punched in the face as hard as possible. I guess I told myself wrong. But then what happened is I had the song called Stacy Pilled, and he was like, oh, it'd be so funny if I punched you in the face during Stacy Pilled. And I go, no, not during my set. Like, I don't want to be punched during my set. Like, I'm trying to like perform. I was already nervous. And I was like, after, like maybe in like a controlled setting, because there was a ton of people there who were like, film me getting punched in the face. But they had like time to prepare, and usually there was like a countdown, and like it was on video of them consenting.
Yeah.
So he alleged. I said sure, like, but I didn't consent to what he did at the end of the show. He full on sucker punched me and punched me as hard as he could in the face at the end of my set, and I wasn't expecting it. And then all of his friends kept trying to gaslight me in this Twitter space I made after to talk about it, telling me how I wanted it and how I asked for it.
You were asking for it, yeah. If you didn't want to get punched, you shouldn't have dressed like that. You know what I mean?
Bro, I dressed like a lesbian trucker that day on purpose.
Well, yeah, lesbians, they hate each other.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there is a high domestic abuse.
It's the highest. But yeah, so my question is,
a lot of sympathy in this chat. I think everyone here is very pro consent and very.
Yeah, we're very pro consent here.
Yeah, really.
This is a feminist show.
Now, when I got punched in the face, I saw white. My ears were ringing. I couldn't process everything.
Yeah, have you ever been punched in the face before?
Yeah, but not that hard. The only time I got punched in the face, there's a gif of it, it was a bit, and we like planned it, and I got punched in the face, and I overreacted, and to make it even more dramatic, because I knew, like, the plan was to turn it into a gif, and it was premeditated, and it was planned. That's why there was no issues with me being punched the first time, because it wasn't even like a real punch. I got sucker punched in front of a whole audience and live.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah, no, somebody from my chat, they donated $5. They said she would not have minded the punch if it was from a real Chad. Do you think that's true? If it was a Chad punching you?
If he was handsome?
Yeah.
No, I would still feel the same way.
Okay. Well, that's kind of, it's, you say that, but there's only one way to find out, If just say like Ryan Gosling punches you one day or something, or Brad Pitt or something. Now, I have a question.
I'd say that's fucked up.
But might not be as upset, just hypothetically.
Hypothetically, it sounds like a pope. Just kidding.
Yeah. Now, so I have a question. How old are you?
I'm 21.
Okay, and how old is the guy who punched you?
I believe he's also 21.
Okay, so it's not like this is like some 50-year-old, 60-year-old man. This isn't like me punching you.
Wait, he's also 21?
Yeah, he's also 21. So it's like he's young. I thought he was kind of older. So if he was older, it'd be more creepy. Now it just sounds a little bit more like dumb stuff. But so
you're both older than me. That's creepy.
Yeah. Now, Brynn, would you punch Jimbo?
Honestly, maybe lightly, but not like hard.
Why? What?
Because
why?
I don't want to hurt you.
No, why would you punch me?
Oh.
Because I said to.
Maybe like if you like kept telling me to and like harassed me to punch you, I'd punch you lightly.
Okay.
Okay. Now
That's creepy.
All right. So would you say like post the punch? Did you guys have a falling out after the show? Was it like did you have to go to the emergency room or whatever, or what was it? What happened after that?
Oh, so I like was bleeding because like I got really dizzy afterward and I was embarrassed and I didn't know what to do. That's why like and like I'm really socially awkward, so people kept asking me if I was okay, but I just wanted to like sit down and like breathe.
Mm-hmm.
But this girl she DM'd me and she said she helped me walk to get water and I go, I don't even remember that. And she's like, yeah, you were like really dazed and out of it. And I was like, seriously? She's like, yeah, like I don't understand why anyone else wasn't like asking you for okay because there was only one girl who like really like cared to like like help me with my face, but then it's like someone's mom was there.
I think
She was, like,
Jimbo would have
chilling in
helped
her
you if he
test
was
lab.
there. Now, Jimbo, if you had like, just say you're sitting in the front of the crowd, right, Jimbo? You're
Right.
standing, and you see him go up, and he's about to punch her. What do you do?
I would have caught the fist.
Would you fall in love with Jimbo?
Yeah.
You think if he caught the fist, Brynn?
Maybe if he was like really nice to me.
And he said, "Let's go for Applebee's afterwards." After he stops, he basically what happens is he catches the punch. And
Hey, let's get out of here.
Then
Let's go to
I was
Applebee's.
not at Applebee's that night.
You had a lot of Applebee's. Yeah.
Olive Garden.
What's
Olive Garden. Yeah, I went to Olive Garden with Jez the next day.
Okay. Now, would you say Applebee's or Olive Garden is better? This is important.
Olive Garden, 100%.
Okay. So what's the my chat is saying it's just a love tap though. It does look a little more brutal than a love tap. So what is a lesson you learned from this experience? How are you going to go forward? And what's the fallout? Because I see a lot of drama stuff. I see Shooter talking about drama stuff. I see other people from the other side talking about drama stuff, that sort of thing.
I learned that I'm a little bit too passive and I'm a little too much of like a people pleaser just because like I say yes too much just for other people because I care. Like I have like a lot of friends that I care about. It's why I felt very strongly about the whole Gezebelle situation because I see Jez as like a little sister to me. And like and if I like
How old is Jez?
She just turned 18.
Really? Okay. So I thought she was older. So she's young. So she's pretty young. So you're trying to like take care of her and help her out.
Yeah, because everyone was being so mean to her. When I saw her getting canceled on Twitter, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I don't even care like what the matter is. Like, she's a young girl. And like you don't do that to someone that young. And so I DM'd her and I was like, listen, like no matter like what happens, like I'm here for you. Like I didn't want her to like feel so isolated to the point where like, worst case scenario, she could have been so freaked out that she like could take her own life or something.
That's true. Yeah.
I would have found that like where something like that.
That would suck. I mean, honestly, if she killed herself, I'd be like, "Where's the music?" She didn't drop enough music before killing herself, and it sucked. Now, do you think being part like half Korean had something to do with not getting knocked out when you got punched?
I mean, think about it. Like, since I'm like half Korean, half white, I have a heterozygote, so I'm just genetically like more superior than everyone else.
That's true. I've always that's true. A big part of my show is talking about HAPA and Kappa children and how that's the future. Because I kind of think you can tell me this. Do you feel like being half Korean has kind of made you a little less like likely to fall for peer pressure and a little more likely to stand up for yourself sometimes and maybe be a little more autistic in a positive way?
I have issues standing up for myself.
And I debunked.
I kind of learned that the hard way.
Yeah, with a fist. Yeah.
But then after this, because
well, notice
my parents said this, and they were like really really upset about it, and they wanted to press charges against everybody, and
they
I
wanted
was
to kill
like,
them. Yeah.
Yeah, because like my family cares a lot about me.
Yeah, it would be very strange if they just saw you get punched and you have like your tooth through your lip and they're like, "Oh, that's cool. All right, we'll see you later." It would have been a bit weird.
Like of this that I learned is that like it's okay to say no, and that like it comes with self-respect. Like I need to have enough self-respect for myself to be able to say no to people when I'm uncomfortable.
That's true.
And it's like. And even if they're mad at me, like it doesn't matter. Like I have a say in what goes on.
That's true.
I have an important question. Do you feel like you can relate to Elliot Rodgers being half white, half Asian?
Yeah, I'm like it's like the female Elliot Rodger.
Do you feel like Shooter's like an older brother to you since he's full Korean?
Definitely.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Now, do you think because this is so like you're saying you don't stand up for yourself?
Great.
But the thing is, you were disagreeing with me by doing that, so that does show that you do stand up for yourself. So my point still stands, really.
I am not too, because honestly, I am very, very thankful for Shooter becoming now like a new friend for both me and Gezebelle, because he has consistently been like speaking his opinion on what is right, and I admire that greatly. And he's helped me a lot, and he also showed me that like as long as I'm doing the right thing, it doesn't matter if I say no to people, because in the end, as long as I do the right thing, it doesn't matter, null and void.
Yeah. Now, do you feel like sometimes Shooter looks down on you for being half white?
Oh, never.
Does he kind of look at you and say Gaijin or something like that, and then he kind of spits on the ground sometimes?
Half breed.
Yeah. Does he call you a half breed sometimes?
No, he doesn't.
You've never.
He's never done that, or
he says that when she's not looking.
It sounds kind of like you're lying, to be honest. It sounds like you're kind of covering it up.
Allegedly.
Okay.
No, never.
Okay, so he hasn't used any slurs for you.
Okay, we can't cancel Shooter yet,
Shooter,
guys.
yeah.
Cozy TV fans, he's not racist.
Yeah, he's not racist.
Well, I know Shooter wants to debate you, and sorry, but I'm pro Shooter.
Yeah, well, wait a second. Over me, because I'm giving the weekly sweat. You don't know how big a deal this is that you're on here. Your life is about to get really good. Now that you're getting this.
Hey, listen, Shooter was there for me when no one else was, and Shooter spoke up for not only me when no one else did, but also Gezebelle.
Okay.
And Gezebelle is just as important to me as I am to myself.
That's fair. I guess I can't get too. I can't try to insult Shooter too much while you're here. So Anon donated $5 says it's never okay to hit a woman. Shooter. And I saw Shooter in the comments, and he said it's never okay to hit a woman. You can slap a woman though. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think it's good to slap a woman?
I mean, maybe if they want it. I don't know. I know some girls who are like, yo, there was this one girl at Doomerfest. Like, I love when like her boyfriend was like, this is how it went. Let me start from the top. Her boyfriend tweeted at me, my girlfriend got punched in the face by two different guys, and I watched and I loved it. And she was like, yeah, I love getting punched in the face by dudes. And I was like, you kind of sound like a cuck right now. And he goes, yeah, I stood in the corner and watched. And I was like, okay.
That's awesome. That sounds like a cool guy. It sounds like there's a lot of cool people at this event.
Yeah, sounds like it was awesome. Really cool.
Now, do you have any more plans? Somebody says Shooter calls you a banana because you're half white, half Korean. Now, do you have any more plans to do more events with these groups of people, or are you kind of done with the scene? Are you gonna return to college and live a straight and narrow path? Or are you thinking you're gonna be doing more of this stuff?
Well, I'm about to graduate college, actually. And then when I graduate college, I have to get a job. I'm probably going to work in finance because I study economics and mathematics.
That's awesome. What type of economics? Is it micro, macro?
I specialize in macroeconomics, but my specific specialization within the macroeconomic framework is monetary policy.
Oh, okay, that's cool. So what is the main drama at the moment? What is the main reason everyone's fighting? Because I understand people freaking out about the punch, and I understand that sort of thing. But what is the current thing the Shooter calling out people and saying they're Satanists or whatever?
Yeah, and they're getting personally offended. It's like these SoundCloud artists that have like less than 300 followers, like on other platforms.
No clout. They have no clout. They're just cloutless.
And they're like, I'm better than Negative XP and all these like other people who have like over millions of streams. And it's like you like look at them and you laugh.
You laugh at them? Do you mock them?
A little bit, yeah, I do. Because they only care about their own ego. I'm sorry, but how do you have an ego with less than 500 like monthly listeners?
That's what I say when I see other people on this platform streamers,
small streamers.
Yeah, what are these small streamers when you're going up against the weekly sweat? What are you talking about? How do you have an ego?
Right.
But yeah, so it sounds like the drama right now is just people are saying I don't like you, and other people are like, oh, you shouldn't like me, and then it's just back and forth. There doesn't seem like is there any real serious drama, or is it just kind of petty like catfighting?
Well, yeah. Then there's like a bunch of like a lot of pedo shit that I'm hearing about, and I'm like, gross.
What is the pedo stuff?
I'm sure you saw it all over Twitter and stuff, but like
I'm banned from Twitter.
Damn, Elon Musk didn't help you?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Damn. Elon Musk isn't gonna take you to the weed planet?
Is he?
Not yet. Not yet.
Jimbo, you're still good with women. It's crazy.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I really, honestly, I feel a connection.
I'm having trouble listening.
I feel like Brynn, do you feel like there's a connection between you and Jimbo tonight?
Maybe.
I'm feeling it.
Would you be willing to move to Utah, Brynn, to marry Jimbo?
Possibly.
He wouldn't cheat on you. He's a good guy.
I tweeted
I'm Mormon.
that I would marry a guy with a 1-inch penis as long as he was loyal, never cheated on me, and was nice to me.
Yeah, I saw that. That's why I'm asking. That's
not in reference to me, though.
Yeah, it's not a reference to Jimbo. But I was just wondering.
This is at least 2.
You're gonna take that?
Over.
Jimbo's like, now I understand why she got punched in the face. Okay. Now, who would you say is the hottest girl in the incel music scene?
The hottest girl? Are you asking me or Jimbo?
You, not Jimbo.
I don't know.
Jimbo loves all of them.
Yeah.
The hottest girl in the incel. All of them.
No, you have to give an answer.
That's a cop out.
This is a cop out. It's a lie. You know you have your list. Rate the. Have a tier list for the girls. Who's the most untouchable? Who's the most attractive? Who should kill themselves? That sort of thing.
I think Gezebelle is the most beautiful girl in Incelcore or epunk. And I stand firmly by that, and everyone else cannot compare. Also, there's only like 3 girls, and like honestly, there's not even that many girls who make music. It's like me and Jez, and that's it.
Okay. Now, would you say? Do you have any? Because we have a lot of people. We have people on both sides of this watching the drama here. Would you say? Do you have any message to the people you're fighting against, the drama that you're involved in, that you're going to care about in a year?
My biggest message to them is, I don't know, do the right thing and read. I guess like these people have like no reading comprehension.
My
biggest issue is that like me as like a 21-year-old who like I think I'm pretty like well read and like have like high enough reading comprehension and like.
What are you talking about reading though? Are you talking about reading like just random books like Harry Potter and stuff?
Just just reading.
Have you read The Chamber of Secrets?
I read all the Harry Potter books when I was like 10.
Which is your favorite Harry Potter books?
Prisoner of Azkaban.
No, that's a good choice.
Ooh,
that's a good choice.
Yeah,
but
good choice,
so would you say this scene seems to be imploding, that it's really just turned into a thing for parasites and vultures like myself and Jimbo to make money off of by exploiting people's personal trauma, and it's not heading in a good direction? Or would you say there's hope for it to turn out and become a real thing?
I think
become mainstream.
I think after this, there's going to be like a new leaf where I think people are going to know who's right and who's wrong. There's a lot of bickering in the drama, but it's pretty obvious what's right and what's like wrong. And the people who are right are going to flourish. And also the people who tend to be right also tend to be like the main like people who dominate the music scene anyway. And those are the people that matter. I myself, like, my music is not like big at all. Like I do music for fun on the side.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it and I love it and it's a great outlet for me. But my friends in the scene, they're significantly bigger than I am. But we tend to get along because we have like the same understandings of our moral complexes tend to align up very like almost exactly on what's right and what's wrong.
Okay. Now, would you say there's a lot of drug abuse problems and sex stuff problems in the scene, or is that kind of overblown?
Yes, there is.
What is the drug of choice?
I couldn't have predicted that. By looking at all the pictures of all of this, that's shocking. Well, spill the tea.
I know for a fact that there were minors being given hard drugs.
The hard drugs is in like meth, or like hard drugs in pills that are physically hard.
Hard drugs as in like inappropriate and not okay.
Okay.
First of all, like minors shouldn't even be doing drugs, period. And there's these adults that are like just are okay with it. Oh, but my biggest issue with the scene is people using Christianity as a cover up for all of the like heinous stuff they're doing.
Yeah, I know a lot of Mormons who do that actually.
He's talking about me.
Yeah, Jimbo's like a big hardcore drug addict / groomer.
Oh yeah.
And he's also Mormon though. But so you'd say that people are using the Jesus stuff as kind of a cover for.
Yeah, it's really weird because like they'll like use Christianity to like make like this like fake family-esque style to like kind of get like, as Shooter said last night, like latchkey kids with little to zero parental guidance that have like internet access, and they lack like parental figures, and so then they see like these older men, like this music scene that literally like work like weird, like either like don't work at all or just like live their life on the computer, and they'll like use like this power dynamic to kind of be like these weird like parental-esque father figures to these young children.
This is like me. This is like me on Cozy.
This is just like us.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it's just like really weird to watch. It's like, why are you in your like 30s talking to 14-year-olds?
Yeah, that's a question I ask myself every day. Now, this Shooter tweet says here, you guys do know that Wizard Tower has group jelking sessions and eat their own cum to strengthen their vril. Is that true?
Well,
did you witness that?
Well, there was an issue with self-sucking. There have been a number of individuals who engaged in the self-suck.
We heard Shooter talking about that.
Yeah, we
over
heard
and
Shooter
over
talking
and over
about
again
that
yesterday.
My question is, I didn't think you could do that, and I'm pretty sure I'm not even flexible if I try to do it right now. One second. Let me see if I can. Wait a second.
But
you need like a rib gun.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I tried to do it. I'm not flexible enough to do it. Now, do you think these people have had their ribs removed to do it?
Had their what?
Their ribs, like you have to, like Marilyn Manson removed his lower ribs so he could do that. Do you?
Maybe they were just really flexible, and then like I don't know, had like the length.
So have you witnessed? Yeah, well, I have. Well, look, okay, you don't have to insult me, Brynn. Okay, I'm trying to do you a favor here, and now you're just emasculate. You're making me feel like a beta.
Jelk eat their own common.
So you're saying I should start jelking? Is that what you're saying? So I can self-suck later.
I would say jelk with caution, because you can break your ween if you jelk too hard.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Is that a problem in the scene?
Have there been people who have had jelking injuries and not been able to perform because of jelking injuries? Would you say that's happened before?
Maybe there are a few artists who didn't show up. I don't know. They said they slept in, but it might have been a jelking.
Were they in their goon cave and they had injuries? They were waiting for the police. They were waiting for the medical care to arrive, so they couldn't make it.
Yeah, probably.
Now, have you witnessed any of the self-sucking going on, or is this?
Have you ever walked in?
Have you ever walked in on a
self-sucking?
Self-suck before, like a pre-game self-suck before they get out on stage? You go around a corner and you just turn around. And oh no!
Not personally, but there were like very suspicious messages about why like self-sucking isn't even effective, because when you're self-sucking, like you can't even focus on how good it feels because there's a dick in your mouth.
I think that's valid,
really cool
though.
Scene.
I think that's
this
valid.
Is a really awesome scene, I think.
Honestly, like I know people like say it's a big deal, but honestly, it just sounds like young men like who may be on the autism spectrum, doing stuff.
The autism spectrum too.
But you're on the autism spectrum, would you say?
Yeah, I have autism, ADHD, and anxiety.
Okay, so do you take Adderall and stuff for that?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not because Jimbo used to take Adderall.
I stopped 3 months ago.
He stopped 3 months ago.
Oh, I'm trying to, when I finish school and everything, I'm going to try to go completely, like I want to just be completely natty.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Now, would you say that your music is inspired by an addiction to amphetamines?
One of my songs is in homage to
her Adderall abuse.
Yeah, it's I forgot to take my meds yesterday because it helps me with school and it helps me focus because I have trouble like sitting down in like a classroom setting. And I also forget to take my meds frequently. The song is called I Forgot to Take My Meds Yesterday. Yeah. And like my inability to like take it consistently kind of threw me off a lot, but growing up, I was kind of my parents don't believe in mental illness, so growing up,
that's awesome.
That's base as fuck.
Growing up, I was diagnosed with this when I was 6, but I never received any like medication or medical attention at all. My parents were like, "Whatever, we don't believe in it." And
they should have given you SSRIs and Adderall from a young age.
That would really help. I think honestly, I think it's good that mental illness is real, but people go too far the other side where everything needs to be medicated away. And
luckily, like sports helped a lot with it. With like ADHD, I think if you have ADHD, exercise is like a really really good way to help control it. it's like, I don't know, I compare it similar to like a dog. Like when you don't like walk your dog is like super like
The excess
everywhere.
energy. Yeah. Now
Yeah.
back to the joking and the self-sucking. So how many people would you say, you don't have to name, don't name any names because I don't want to defame anybody. And I personally think it's fine.
Whoa,
whatever.
This is the weekly sweat. Defame.
No. This is a new era.
Name them.
Yeah, name them. So how many people would you say have been self-sucking and joking in the Incelcore scene for a while now?
Confirmed 2.
Two.
Allegedly,
Okay.
maybe like 15.
Okay, so two confirmed.
Are there a lot of artists? Like, I literally don't know anyone. Shooter and Gezebelle, Gurberly or whatever, and now you, and Hot Leather.
Hot Leather based Pool Party, awesome song.
Do you think Hot Leather's ever self-sucked or joked?
I don't think so.
You think he's beating the self-suck allegations? You think?
I think Hot Leather has definitely beat the self-suck joke allegations.
Okay. I just wanted to clear that up because I'm not, I'm mutual with Hot Leather on Instagram, so I'm kind of biased. I don't want to lose that mutual follow.
That's big.
So yeah, that is a big one. This is kind of, I feel like I kind of have my ins with the community. That's even how I was able to get this interview at the first place. I understand that Brynn is kind of a big deal, so it's hard to get interviews with her. So that's why I was so surprised. Now back to the.
Listen, I'm just a normal girl. I'm not like famous. I have no clout or whatever. I just live life and I try to honor God every single day. I'm not perfect. I'm still a sinner and I fuck up all the time.
And you're mixed race too.
You come across as different.
Yeah, honestly, you come across as like the soulmate for Jimbo. No, Jimbo, well, would you ever date a half Korean woman, Jimbo?
Absolutely. But you have to be Mormon.
Sorry, I'm not Mormon. I'm Christian.
No, that's a good answer. This is how you see this. This is a good, starting to get the real drama between the hosts and the.
Yeah, now I'm gonna start debating.
Now, do you have any questions for Brynn, Jimbo? Do you have any?
Let's see. No.
Okay. Okay, so who would you say?
You didn't even tell me who the guest was until I showed up.
Yeah,
so,
because you said you said keep it mysterious so I can get excited for the for the thing. Now, so the question, Brynn, I have is, where do you see it headed? Where do you see this scene headed over the next few months? Do you see it blowing up? Do you see it kind of fizzling out? Do you see it people getting back together? The people not getting upset at each other anymore, putting the self-sucking behind them, or do you see it?
Well, one of my personal favorite artists in the scene has said that they're going to make a comeback after all of this, and I'm really excited for that.
Who's that?
That's Hard Christ.
Okay, yeah, I know Hard Christ. Now, do you think Hard Christ has ever self-sucked?
I don't think so.
Can you be sure?
Can you be sure, though?
I'm very sure.
Freeta is in the chat saying you're just a clout chaser. Is that true?
I don't think so because I don't really need clout or really care to have clout.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just here to have fun.
Okay, you're just here to have fun and find a Mormon husband.
Yep.
Okay, good. Well, you're doing a good job of it so far. What is the main? I don't even. The thing is, I tried to look into this for like 5 minutes. I couldn't decipher everything, so I kind of have to rely on your version of the story. What is the current drama? Is it just people saying, "Oh, this person's a bad person"? Is it saying, "Oh, I don't like Raven" or whatever?
Yeah. Oh. Sorry.
Yeah. So it came out. If you go through my Twitter, I posted. Please raise your hand if you've ever. All the girls, raise your hand if you've ever felt personally victimized by Raven, because I've noticed that Raven has gone after only females and only women, and her herself is a woman.
That's true. That is true. Those are facts right there.
This sounds like a really big problem.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know, it screams pick me on like the highest degree ever. And then
we hate those.
Gezebelle, who at the time when she claimed Gezebelle was her best friend when she was a minor, she also completely just like believed some guy that she was barely friends with in comparison to a best friend about rape, and then completely lambasted her on social media. And at first, before Shooter said anything, everybody was on Jez, completely attacking her, tearing her down, harassing her, bullying her, and saying things that just weren't true and were
on
not
Twitter.
on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
What should be done with Raven, you think? What is the proper, how are we going to deal with the situation? What is the proper outcome? Is there like a lynch mob or something we need to do, or is it legal action or killing her or whatever?
Well, first of all, there needs to be like the truth needs to come out, and it's only been recently that like all of like everything that she's ever done to everyone, she's completely betrayed everyone who's ever considered her a friend.
So you say she's dark triad?
Dark triad?
She's like dark triad female, like she's like dark
psycho,
like Incelcore,
dark empath.
Yeah, dark empath core. Would you say that's an accurate descriptor of Raven?
Well, yeah, because I mean, after I posted that, I got a ton of DMs of everyone telling me about how Raven has personally harmed them in some sort of way, and a surprising amount were minors.
Like people who work in mines?
No, people who were underage.
Oh, okay.
One specifically was like, there was someone back when she had an OnlyFans. She was trying to promote her OnlyFans to a high schooler, and this high schooler was like, "This is gross. Why are you doing this?"
Well, that's the hustle.
And then she was like, "What?"
That's hustling.
Yeah, and then she has like a large following, and she has a lot of simps too.
I'm one of her simps.
Like,
I'm a Raven stan.
This guy's like terrible. She like promoted her OnlyFans to a minor, and then tried to cancel the same.
Well, the thing is, did she know he was a minor? And that's the thing. It's it's you got to be careful about this sort of stuff because it might not have been something that she was doing. She knew that person was underage, so it's still not so great to do. You know what I mean? But it's not. It's a little bit different.
Well, he was 15 at the time, and now he's like 16. So it's like, I feel like it's pretty obvious, and like if you're doing that kind of like work or promotion, like you should make sure of like who your target audience is.
What? I wasn't listening.
Don't promote your
sorry.
OnlyFans to underage people, okay, Jimbo?
Okay, wait. Raven has an OnlyFans.
She had. Well, that's the thing is, so like to be fair to Raven, so I want to be fair to her.
Okay, we gotta clarify. Paul is a Raven stan.
I'm a Raven stan,
and I'm a Brynn cell.
Okay, you're a Brynn cell, and I just want to be clear that people are imperfect, so people do dumb stuff when they're younger, especially when they're changing and that sort of stuff, and especially if they're doing drugs and that sort of thing. So I'm not making light of this thing. It's not. It's
You're
not
saying it's okay?
I'm saying that people do change, so it is one of those things where it's not like you said, the truth should come out for people or that sort of thing. But also, is that a recent thing or is it an old thing or what? Who knows? Not me.
Well, the cherry on top of that is that she tried to tell everyone that Hot Leather forced her to make this OnlyFans, and that Hot Leather
so he's
was
a pimp.
The one.
That's base.
But the thing is, she was just lying. Like, that's not true. Like, you can't force someone against their will to make an OnlyFans account and make content. And like, I feel really bad for Hot Leather because she got a whole entire like dog pile on him trying to cancel him.
Yeah, I did see a lot of people making fun of him. I didn't really understand why.
Dude, I was contributing to that, and I didn't understand why. I'm just one of shooters.
You're one of Raven's pawns.
I guess by accident.
All right.
I didn't even get the jokes. I didn't even know who he was.
Yeah, and like he was just getting because everyone was dogpiling on him, and that like weird like wolf pack mentality just got everyone to just like completely like harass and bully him, and I thought it was messed up.
Okay. So
because it wasn't even true. It's one thing for stuff to be true, but like when you're just lying to harm other people, that's messed up.
Yeah, it's true. And if you're gonna do it, you have to be good at it. Like that's what I do. I'm very manipulative, or whatever. But I always go out of my way to make it so kind of vague, and I kind of go out of my way to make it so people don't really understand what I'm doing, and then I kind of push and pull people into different situations. So that's if I was gonna give Raven one advice. He can relate. I can relate, but I would just say you gotta step up your gaslighting game.
Oh, I mean, like I think Raven's the most pro like gaslighter I've ever seen in the world because I like read all these messages with her and other people. And it's like, she'll just take a lie, and then to prove it right, she'll just send you, like, walls of text on why her lie is true. And because, like, you're so intimidated by how much, like, she typed about it, you don't really go to check if, like, what she's saying is even true. You kind of just take it word of mouth. And then everyone But when everyone started to pick up on that, that's why it all happened all at once. It's not like, oh, she made a few mistakes and like they all happened to come out at once. Like this is over the duration of a year, like over a year. And all of these have just been piled up. And there have been multiple people who have been harmed in it by the process, who were either too scared to speak out because she somehow convinced everyone that they were lying and she was telling the truth, or like they were scared because she had some sort of blackmail on them.
Now Jimbo, honestly, that's another reason we want to do this, because Jimbo is being blackmailed by Raven, so he's not.
This is why I'm reluctant.
Yeah, so Jimbo doesn't really want to get into. So what is it like as far as blackmail? Is this just drama stuff, like, oh, you slept with this person, oh, you did, here's a picture of you doing drugs or something like that, or is it like actual serious blackmail? Is it stuff that's just like annoying, like, oh, you cheated on XYZ person with this person, so I know that I can tell people? Or is it just like, oh, you smoked weed, or you did cocaine, or you did Adderall or something? Is it something actually like illegal blackmail? Is it that sort of stuff?
There is one case of illegal blackmail that I feel very strongly upon. I actually got emotional when I heard this because it literally broke my heart when I heard this. But a girl reached out to me and she was like, I need to tell you what Raven did to me. And I was like, okay, like,
and how old is this person?
She's 17.
Oh, okay.
And I promised that I would keep her completely anonymous and that I would leave her name out of everything, out of her safety.
But you can give like a few letters from her name, right?
No, absolutely.
You can be like, there's 6 letters, and you're like, we can do like Hangman, and then we can go letter by letter, and if we can guess it, you have to reveal the name.
So Raven's current boyfriend, Greens on Toast, or as Shooter coined, Greens on Leash, because Raven goes on his phone and like reads all of his messages, and even
that's just young love, though. We've all been in those sort of relationships where everyone's spying on each other, and where were you on at this time? And you have GPS, and then people put like little like GPS trackers under the skin of each person. We've all been in those sort of relationships, so I can't really.
Only you, Paul.
Oh, okay, maybe that is just me.
But basically what happened is she like found out that he was talking to other girls before they started dating. So she read all of their messages and she found like explicit photos that were sent. Because keep in mind that Greens on Toast is like 18 now.
Yeah, Zany. Yeah, I like Zany.
But when they were both underage at the time,
yeah.
And they were, some explicit photos were shared. But Raven took and saved these explicit photos from Zany's previous messages with this girl, sent it to other people, and then there's even like there's proof of her sending it to other people because some random guy, one of Raven's like simps or whatever, posted it on Twitter temporarily, an explicit photo of a minor.
And that's not a good idea. That's illegal.
She didn't know what to do, and then Raven was telling her she's a gross whore, she's a slut, she's all these things. And
would you say is that true or false?
It's false.
Okay, I just wanted to.
She was planning to have a relationship with this guy, and this guy just completely betrayed her trust. And what happened was like this is the worst part. This is the absolute worst part. When she tried to speak out about how like she sent it to one person and like it got shared and then it got leaked onto the internet, a minor's explicit photos. Raven told everyone that she was sending unsolicited nudes as a minor to all of these guys in this community and that she's a whore and she's a slut and she needs to be canceled, when really it was her soliciting it to her like friends and like simps and stuff, and they were sharing it around and even posting it on social media. And if you're a 17-year-old girl and this is happening to you, like, can you even imagine?
I can't imagine.
Feeling like that has to even do. Like, I felt so bad. I told her straight up, I was like, listen, you are not a whore, you are not a slut, you're
beautiful.
She is. She really is beautiful.
You're a queen.
She's an amazing young girl. And she literally told me, she was like, thank you so much, Brynn. Like, I needed to hear that. Like, I think I'm literally in tears right now because for the longest time, like, I thought that like I would never be able to like live like through this again. Like, she was having like bad thoughts about it. She's very similar to me, and it's like it caused her so much pain and suffering. I told her, I was like, listen, like, I'm here for you. Like, I will always be here for you. Like, I'm sorry this has ever happened to you, but like, I will make sure nothing like this ever happens to you again or anyone.
You need to
And I
protect her.
will
It was like a sisterhood kind of coming together, and kind of
The
like
incel scene.
Yeah. Do you feel like the scene that you're in right now is a kind of particularly hostile to women, and it needs to be kind of it needs to be a little bit more understanding, or else it's too kind of toxic right now?
I mean, it originally started, it's supposed to be irony. It was like a bit like, oh, I hate women. Women are awful, blah,
That's
blah,
a
blah.
joke. That's just a joke.
Yeah, and then it's like
This came from irony leftist
it was
Twitter,
first,
not far right wing
it was
neo-Nazi
like first like,
Twitter.
oh, I really
it's
hate
all
women.
a joke.
Think about it. I had
Esoteric Hitlerism's a joke. They don't actually like
buddy,
Hitler, obviously.
Jimbo, let Brynn talk. Let the woman talk here.
Listen to this. If you hate women like so much to the point where like you're disgusted by them, that's a little gay.
That's true.
Like,
Well, I've never heard libtards say that before.
And you might
I've never
have
heard a
some
liberal
you might
say
have
that
a small
one.
wiener.
It's like they hate women so much, and it's because they love none of them.
That's Oh.
Shooter says in the chat, all women are queens. And he says, let her talk also. And honestly, wouldn't you say it's fair to say that this all comes out of Shooter's music for the most part? Like, he was the founder of most of this stuff. He was the reason it exists.
I think he was meant to be funny. He's an entertainer. Like, there's real life and there's entertainment, like your music doesn't define who you are as a person.
Really? You don't think so?
You think incels need to get laid?
I think they should get married and then get laid by their wife.
That's a good answer. That's honestly a good answer. Jimbo tried to set you up.
Damn.
Jimbo tried to set you up there, but you just shut you down.
This is why I'm a Brynn cell.
Yeah.
Because you know what? If they were nice to a woman for like a long period of time, they'd probably come around. And if they all girls want to be married eventually. And you know what? If they went and married some girl, they would probably be like the happiest girl in the world. And then you know what? Then they could do whatever laying they want to do as two consenting married adults.
So you think a big problem with this scene is the sexual hijinks that are going on behind the scenes?
I think there's like a weird like fixation on like on weird sex stuff, and it's like kind of weird and off-putting. Like, why are you so obsessed with this? Like, there's more to life than just like pleasure.
That's one thing. When I'm looking at the scene, I'm kind of like, why are these early 20s adults intergender involved in sexual relationships with each other? It's very weird to me. But it's why are you laughing, Jimbo? I'm trying to complete a thought here.
Sorry.
So
I don't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, but so you think it would be solved if these people got married, and then do you think? But that's the thing too. It's like, don't you think kind of with art and with creative stuff, you kind of do have to have this dysfunction, because then other people aren't going to do stuff unless you have dysfunction, unless you have weird drama, unless you have people hate each other. It's like think about like Gezebelle's song, like what is it? I Can Fix Him or whatever. It's like you're not going to have that song unless you have the drama. You're not going to have the the interpersonal, the conflict, that sort of stuff. I
Can Fix Him was originally. Oh, this is another fucked up thing Raven did. Raven.
Hey, please watch the language. We try to keep the language PG here.
Sorry.
It's okay.
So, another messed up thing that occurred was originally Raven was trying to set up Gezebelle with Zany, and Gezebelle grew to like him, and she wrote "I Can Fix Him" before Raven and Zany started dating, and she even played "I Can Fix Him" for Raven on FaceTime, and she was like, wow, like this is so good. Like, she knew who the song was about and like how she wrote the song. She was in like the whole process of her creating the song. And but then all of a sudden like there's like I saw like the text messages between the two, and it's Raven saying, I know you really liked Zany, but I liked him too. And because she was saying how she liked this other guy named Ann Hero, and that she wanted him, and then she was going to set up Jez with Zany, and that's how it was all supposed to work out. But basically she like convinced Jez to like shoot her shot with this guy, and then all of a sudden she texts her, she's like, actually I have feelings for him and we're dating now. And it's like, if I was Jez in that situation, I'd be hurt. Like,
that's true. That is. But I mean, honestly, like I can relate to Raven's position in that. Not because I've never ever dated a guy. But because I kind of understand.
He has.
I have not. I believe, Brynn, I'm heterosexual. I'm not a homosexual. I just wanted to clear that up. But no, because I can relate to the it's like a game kind of. It's like a catch and release. It's like the only point to having a relationship really for certain types of people, and I'm one of them, is it's not to be happy. It's to make other people unhappy. And you know what I mean? It's like one of those things where it's exciting. It's exciting to break people and make them say, "Oh, you like this person? They're mine now." You know what I mean?
Do you relate to that?
I don't relate to that at all.
This is where you and I are different.
He's a dark empath.
I'm dark. That's the thing. I said this. Remember, I said that with your tweet. I said I if I was a woman, I'd be like Raven.
Well, I'm glad there's someone you can relate to out there.
Yeah, and maybe I'm a little twisted, but that is, I have to be fair to Raven, and I understand, but I understand also the drama because you guys are all young, so it's Raven's like 21, right? Too? She's like 21?
She's older than me. I think she's like either 22 or 23.
Okay, so yeah, it's about the same. I mean, it feels like a lot now, but like in a few years you'll be like, oh yeah, it's about the same. But yeah, so I'm old, I'm 27, but I remember when I was like that age, I wasn't in any music scene, but it was a lot of that sort of weird power game stuff going on. So I can kind of forgive, on my side, because I'm not involved, I can forgive somebody else's thing. But yeah, no, I understand.
He's compromised. He's on Team Raven.
I'm not.
This is the problem.
I'm not on team. I'm on Team The Weekly Sweat.
He hates Shooter. Oh, we're on. Oh, yeah, okay.
We're on the Weekly Sweat. Yeah, we're here to make money from people destroying their lives. So do you? So is there any way you think you and Raven can make up at this point? Do you think there's any path forward where you guys can get together? Or, are you on good terms with Zany? Are you not on good terms with Zany?
Is Zany Greens on toast?
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't really have any relation with Zany at all.
Are you guys star-crossed lovers, would you say?
No, not at all. If anything, we just talked about music because I respected him as a musician, and that's it. Me and Raven initially had like a big fight due to miscommunication because this was when she cheated on Hot Leather and then told everyone she didn't cheat on Hot Leather, and that Hot Leather was actually abusing her and she was escaping an abusive relationship. But
once again, that's just dark empath behavior.
But they were all living together in the same house. I wrote this song called Normal Girl, and I made the instrumental myself, and I was talking to Zany about future project ideas, and he was like, oh, a bimbo core, Stacy core type song, Stacy punk type kind of music. And I was like, that's a really good idea.
That's what we're all waiting for.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, cool. That'll take the field to the next level.
I work with a lot of artists who have different kinds of music. I'm primarily a singer-songwriter. So I used to get a lot of hate because they're like, oh, Brynn doesn't even make her own instrumental. So for this song, I really put in the effort to make my own instrumental for this. And I thought the song came out really good, so I sent it to Zany. And I was like, look, I made this song. Your idea was awesome. I think there's a lot of opportunity in this Stacy punk, bimbo core type idea of female rock music, right?
Okay.
And yeah, and then I sent him a funny TikTok, and
are you big on the TikTok? Would you say you're TikTok pilled, or would you say you're not? You don't really look at TikTok too much.
I don't really use TikTok because I don't have enough time to be on social media.
Yeah, because you're in college too. You're doing multiple things.
Yeah. But she got really, really upset because then he was like, whoa, I have a girlfriend. And I was like, who? And he goes, are you serious? And I'm pretty sure it was Raven messaging me off of Zany's phone because the whole how he normally types didn't match up. And I was like, oh, he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then he said it was Raven, or it was Raven.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I did not mean any disrespect at all. I didn't mean it at all. I hope you guys have a great relationship, and I'm happy for you. And then she started subtweeting me, telling everyone how every girl in this scene is a terrible and awful person. And I knew they were about me, and it was hurtful because I didn't have any ill intention.
Yeah. So you don't seem to me. You seem like a very innocent, normal person who kind of you're involved in a scene where there's a lot of people who are on the margins of behaviors in terms of psychological profiles. So it's So it's like not even as an insult. Like Shooter is a lot different than most people. It's the way he talks to people and the way he sees things. Same thing with like Raven. Same thing with Zany. That sort of thing. So it seems like you're kind of like even like Gezebelle or how do you say her first name?
Garbagoobly.
How do you say her first name?
Jezebelle Gabergably.
Gabergably, yeah. Like.
And if you're a Jez fan, you're a Gaberger.
Okay, I'm a burger. What is it? Aren't you like a snail creature? Isn't that
Snail pill? That's Jez.
Okay.
But basically, I have screenshots of all this too. I sent Raven a very thorough apology on how I never meant any ill intention, and that I'm sorry, and that I apologize for her even feeling that way. And then she just unfollowed me on everything, and then the subtweets just kept like coming out about me.
Do you think a way to solve this would be like to meet up at Ralphamania and do a boxing match?
Do I look 5'1", bitch?
No, I'm not a fighter.
You're not a fighter.
See, I'll get my butt.
Well, honestly, you took that punch pretty well. I mean, I think I would be KO'd at that point.
Yeah, that would have knocked you out.
I almost got KO'd. I whited out.
Yeah.
I just saw white and ringing, and then I was like, and then I was embarrassed on top of that, and I was like, just have to get off this stage. I just have to like go.
Why were you embarrassed? Just because you got punched? Is like you just felt weird about it? All of a sudden, you were like very self-conscious or something?
Well, I'm very like anxious, like in person,
Already
like
nervous.
really.
Okay.
So I was already nervous, and like being in front of like a lot of people, like it was like, and also being around a lot of people was also very overstimulating as well.
That's true.
And so then,
okay.
And I was nervous as well. And Jez and Cyborg and even Zarel, they were like, "Oh, let's play like a song together." And I was like, "Oh, this is great because like the more people, the merrier." And so I was really, really nervous, and I was nervous while I was singing too. That's why I looked so awkward on stage. Because it was my first performance ever. It's the first time I ever performed my music in front of people, and it was a surreal experience. And it was like, I'm thankful for everyone involved. I'm even thankful for Raven who put on the event. Yeah. But that doesn't.
So like, this is my question. So at this point, prior to the event, you and Raven kind of had a falling out prior to it, right?
Yes.
So what was the reason you think? Why did she invite you if you guys weren't on good terms at that point?
So after the whole Jez thing, I was always defending Jez from the beginning because I knew
your besties.
The story. Well, we weren't even friends at the time. I read the story and it didn't make sense. He was talking about like fake acid and how like Jez was trying to do an MK Ultra experiment on all these people. A 17-year-old girl, by the way.
That's awesome. I hope that's true, actually.
Mess with everyone and get inside their head. And I was like, this is literally like nonsense, and this makes no sense at all. Like something's wrong here. And I reached out to her. And she really, really appreciated me. Like, she even said, she goes, "I didn't even think you would ever reach out to me. I thought I would be by myself." And I was like, never. I reiterated this to her. I was like, I never leave a girl behind. Never.
That's awesome, yes. Like, snails stick together, you know?
Well, strength for women comes in powers and numbers. When girls stick together, that's how they stay protected. When I go out, I always make sure to be with another girl or have a group of girls with me.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Protection. So I told her like I leave no girl behind, and that kind of became like my slogan for Doomerfest. And me and Jez were hanging out. She's like, "Truth, leave no girl behind."
And then you're like slay, and then you guys just start laughing together and that sort of thing.
It's so true.
So true. Yeah. Okay. Now, Jimbo, would you leave a girl behind, Jimbo?
Oh, never.
Do you think Jimbo would fit in with the girl club, with the girl squad, or do you think he would be kind of an outsider?
Shout out to Girl Squad.
Yeah, is Shooter really part of Girl Squad, or is that a lie?
Shooter is a part of Girl Squad.
Is how did he get indicted? Did he have to get like punched? Did you guys surround him and like beat him up, and then like a initiation to a gang kind of?
No, I think he just saw all these pagan weirdos acting really gay and was like, "Whoa, this is weird."
Okay, so you're a Christian. Are you like a non-denominational Christian?
I am Protestant, but I'm still trying. I'm still young, and I'm still trying to like do research and just like and figure out what path of faith is best fit for my lifestyle and like fits my moral complex the best.
That makes sense, yeah. And that honestly, I think that's like the main. So like from my experience, so I'm kind of a creative person, and I've been dysfunctional in my own life in my own ways a lot of times, and I do notice like people who are doing creative stuff generally they seem to be kind of screwed up in a lot of ways. Because that's why they're working on creative stuff, because like they don't fit in, they're kind of dysfunctional in certain ways. So it seems to me like you seem like a very functional, very you're going to college, you're doing a lot of stuff, so it makes sense that there'd be like a little headbutting at the at the end of the day, or fist punching, because it's like you're kind of an outsider in a sense, not even like the bad sense, but in the sense of like you're working on a lot of stuff while other people, this is just what they have, it's just the music stuff.
Well, as a young adult, like, with like I hate to sound like this, but like I'm not neurotypical, but I am a neurodivergent adult.
Yeah, I believe that.
I had to learn a lot about masking, and I had to honestly being a part of sports teams and eventually joining a sorority and pushing myself to be a part of things that had a common goal helped me learn like how to socialize and like listen for social cues and like adapt.
Oh, 100%.
And
100%.
my social anxiety stems from my like inability to really like catch on to like social cues, because a lot of embarrassing things had happened because of my inability to pick on to things or pick up on things.
Yeah, I relate to that. So that happened to me a lot growing up too. I had to learn how to mask stuff too. So I 100% get what you're saying.
So they always tell me that I didn't belong in the scene and I don't belong here, but you have artists who write songs about "Please be patient, I have autism" by Neat, by the way, and other artists who just talk about like their struggles fitting in, their struggles feeling normal.
Yeah,
I wrote "Normal Girl" because I never felt normal. I'm really good at putting on the face of looking normal.
But you're kind of like an American Psycho at the end of the day.
But I never feel like normal. I always feel nervous and uncomfortable in like the presence of others, just because I'm scared of like messing up.
Yeah, and part of that's it. Part of it probably is like you do strike me as like you might, not in a bad way. I'm not saying it's an insult, like autistic in a little way. But it's part of it too is growing up too. So you're in the age where you're transitioning from being like a kid to like all these responsibilities and all this stuff. So it makes sense that you're trying to find your place and that sort of stuff. So you take offense at them saying you don't fit in when you feel like you do fit into this outsider, like you're literally what the songs are describing.
When I listened to these songs, I was like, wow, like there's other people who feel the same way I do. And I originally I made music in high school just for fun, just because I always liked music. I'm actually classically trained to sing like Italian arias, and I've like performed in like classical music,
that's awesome,
vocal competitions. So like, and I was a part of musical theater growing up as well.
So you're a theater kid.
And so yeah, like growing up, I was in like a production for a fundraiser for children with cancer. Philanthropy is a huge part of like my life. I love to if music doesn't work out for me, which is fine, I'm going to join the Peace Corps and I'm going to dedicate my life to helping like children in third world countries. Like I want to like
that's awesome.
Help as many people as possible. That's my main thing.
That's awesome.
And that's why like I used to make this joke kind of like, I don't know, to be funny. And like I'd be like, oh, I'm going to save all the incels, because I had a fundraiser with my sorority to raise money for children with cancer. And I was using my platform and I was saying, hey, if you support me and my music, whatever money you send me today, I will donate towards this organization for children with cancer. It's called the Be Positive Foundation. And all the money goes towards families who have children who have like cancer, and it's like a big financial burden for those families. And I raised $170.
That's
and
awesome.
Then I added.
And you spent it all on drugs.
No, I used I put in my own personal contribution to make it $200. So me and my Twitter following, like I only use Twitter, raised $200 for a great cause. And every $1,000 that was raised for this event, which over 20K was raised by my whole entire school, it could help 20 different families, because the money is reimbursed by 1K at a time.
Now I have Stinky in the chat, and he says he'll donate $100 to the Be Positive Foundation if you sing for us. But we can do that later. We don't do that now. We can do it later, because I don't know. Because you said you felt uncomfortable around a lot of people, but you seem like you're pretty comfortable now, which is pretty good. Yeah, it's I'm very
we're such a accommodating host.
Yeah, I'm very disarming.
That was probably one of the best days of my life when I like saw like, and then everyone was like, damn, like Brynn is getting all the incels to donate to charity, and I was like, wow, like this is amazing. Like everyone does have their own personal contribution towards the greater good, and like if I can do that like myself, and I can also influence other people to do that, that's all I want in life.
That's awesome. Yeah, wouldn't you want a family though too? Like, do you feel like this is kind of replacement?
After God, it goes God, family, friends, and then
Incelcore.
And then yeah.
Okay. No. So this is one gripe I have with shooters. I think the Incelcore name is better than the epunk name. Do you agree with that, or do you think epunk is better?
I agree with that, and Shooter knows I agree with that too.
Yeah. So you're gonna start drama with shooter now.
Yep.
Okay.
So you're joining the Incelcore.
So you're Raven pilled now.
I've always been Incelcore.
Mm-hmm.
She's always been Raven pilled. Holy.
Yeah, my chat is saying you're saving incels by taking their money and turning them into pay pigs. What do you think about that? Do you feel like that's an unfair characterization?
Well, it's unfair because I just influence. I said, hey, like, please donate money to this charity because I don't need the money from anybody else. I just wanted to raise as much money as possible to help children with cancer because my mom also suffered from cancer, and like it was a big financial burden. So I can only imagine what these families have to go through when their child just is randomly diagnosed with like extreme cancer causes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly, this is the core, and only allow me to be more serious than I've been. I've joked around a lot in this stream, but it does seem to me like the core drama is that there's people who want to do just music, and they're artistic types in the sense. Not to say you're not artistic, but most artistic people are very dysfunctional. They use drugs, they sleep around and that sort of stuff because it's like they don't really slot into society. Whereas it seems like you're coming from a place where you're very functional in a lot of ways that other people might not be. And so like the core drama seems to be related to that. Like the way you're talking about how like the relationship drama with you and Raven and Zany or whatever, which wasn't even drama. It was just like the DMs and stuff. It's like, to you it was very strange, but to me I can understand where they're coming from, where it's like they're very possessive in a certain way because that's what they have. That's their thing they're doing now. Whereas you're working on a few different things, so like to you it doesn't seem like as big a deal to DM somebody or something. Whereas for them, it's like a bigger deal because it's like if you mess up this, then that's like going to take away a lot from them. You know what I mean? But yeah.
That makes complete sense. Yeah, I think that makes complete sense. But I think the difference is like I don't know. I'm so thankful for both my parents who like love and care about me so much. I originally myself
Are you throwing shade now?
No. I'm indebted to my
Unlike
parents. As Shooter says, like respect your parents, love your parents. Like no parent is perfect. They're human, just like me and you. And like they're trying their best. Like there are bad parents out there, and I pray for those who are not blessed.
So you pray for the haters. You're saying you pray for the haters.
I hate saying, oh, I'll pray for you when I don't mean it. But in like a general consensus, I do pray to like soften the hearts of those who may have had like a harder time growing up or have faced things that I've never had to face. And for them to like maybe see that, you can't control the hand you're dealt, but you can control what you do with that
you have
hand.
to play the cards you're dealt, and you can't choose what cards you're dealt, but you can choose how to play them. That's a good point. Now, would you say you pray for Raven and you pray for Zany sometimes, or are you still not? Are you not praying for them? You're wishing on their downfall.
I don't wish on other people's downfall. They personally hurt me and other people, and I think that's completely inexcusable. And honestly,
is it true you have like a shrine and like a voodoo setup to do like black magic on them?
Never that. I do not engage in that activity.
Would you say is that an actual thing that's going on in that scene? Is like weird voodoo stuff and weird like
I they claim it's all aesthetics, but I don't think it's all aesthetics, but that's coming from word of mouth. There's no proof on that. A lot of these like smaller artists, the artists that have like really small followings and like are really like upset about all of the things that are happening and aren't listening to reason, they tend to rely on aesthetics and plagiarized, like highly influenced by other kinds of music to make their music. And the reason why they're so tight knit and why like they won't listen to reason is because these are their friends and they have this emotional connection.
But you don't have would you say since you have autism you don't really have emotional connections to people, and it's kind of like just
No, I do. But it's just I can see what's right and I can see what's wrong. And a lot of these like small artists rely on like these other artists who have done very bad things because they either make artwork for them or they stream their music or they write the chord progressions for their songs, or they'll produce their music, or they'll make cassette tapes, like, or they'll make merch. Like, they all work together to further promote their music.
Yeah.
Which is a great and beautiful thing, but when it's all like, so when you can, just because you have that doesn't mean you can just ignore really terrible things that happen. And you have to hold your friends accountable.
Yeah.
Just because they're your friend doesn't mean you can excuse them from terrible things they've done. Other people were harmed by these actions. You have to hold your friends accountable.
How are people harmed? So I understand the drama. I understand the cheating on people or whatever. It's not optimal, but that's like life stuff. Like, it's not good to do, but it's not like serious harm. I think people get over it when they get older. Hopefully, have people actually been like seriously harmed, or is it more this drama stuff?
They've been harmed on like a social media level, as I expressed before.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people, they go using like these weird dogpiling, canceling tactics
Toxic
to go
tactics.
and target like certain individuals to either push them into silence or to completely remove them from the scene. And it's not okay. That's bullying, and I'm like a strong advocate for anti-bullying. As lame as that sounds, like, I don't think bullying is cool at all. And like, as someone who has been bullied before, that's something I like actively voice out against all the time.
Jimbo and I would never bully you, though.
Huh?
Jimbo and I would never bully you.
Oh no, I would never bully you.
I hope my friends hold me accountable as I hold them accountable. And I think accountability is a huge thing in all of this. And I think personally, my biggest issue with Raven is that she doesn't hold herself accountable for anything she's done. She just cries and says that her life is terrible. But it's like, do you not see how you've affected other lives and how terrible you made other people's lives? I think the first step, she's asking for forgiveness. And it's like, I think everyone deserves forgiveness. In the end, like, I'm not God. I cannot condemn anyone anywhere. That's certainly not in my place.
Also, I'm not. Shooter's asking in the chat if I'm invalidating his trauma. I'm not invalidating your trauma, Shooter. I think Shooter.
You are valid.
You're valid, Shooter. All right. What were you saying?
But I think the first step that comes in forgiveness is honesty and being honest with your actions. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks so bad to admit like terrible things you've done, but that is the hardest, and that is the first step. The second step is holding yourself accountable and owning up to things you've done. And because in the end, the truth always prevails, and it's a lot better just to be honest and reflect on things accurately than just ignore it and try to cover up your tracks. And so what comes after accountability is reflection. It's like you have to reflect and understand, like, why was it bad? Why was it harmful? Who did I hurt? Why did it happen? You have to ask yourself these questions.
I ask myself those questions. And the answer I'd always come up with is other people's fault.
But then you completely miss the second step, and that's accountability.
Well, I made them accountable. They were accountable.
But that's frankly just not accountability, is when you're blaming everyone else.
Well, what if it's their fault?
If it's their fault, then they need to do the same things you're doing. But also it depends on like the issues. I have no idea on your interpersonal relationships with other people, and I have no room to judge that.
Oh, they're really messed up. Honestly, this is why I'm running cover for Raven, because my life is even worse.
He doesn't want that.
Yeah, I don't want people to look into my abuses.
But then
of people.
after reflection comes growth, and with growth comes like not repeating and making the same mistakes, but growing and learning and becoming a better person. And once you finish like all those steps, which I believe is 4, that's when you truly receive forgiveness, and that's how like people are able to forgive you, and that's how you are forgiven. Blanket statement apologies and optics, trying to cover up your optics and hiding everything.
Are your optics pilled?
She says fuck the optics.
Are you going in? Screw the optics, I'm going in. Brynn.
Streaming Milk Optics by Steak Fry.
Yeah, are you a...
That's what we reference.
Are you an optics respecter, or are you an optics disrespecter? Do you think optics matter, or do you think the truth matters more than optics?
Honestly, I think the truth matters more than optics.
So keep you away from any synagogues.
I'm dead. I think optics are important on because it's important to hold yourself like in a certain way. Like, I don't know, appropriateness is very important, and like being respectful towards others. Just because like you don't necessarily agree with someone doesn't mean that they should be given any less respect. I think you should hold everyone to the same amount of respect as you would give yourself, and you should give everyone that equal opportunity. Just like, I don't know, I just think that's the right thing to do.
All right. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, honestly, you come off like a very, wouldn't you agree? She comes off like a very genuine person. Brynn comes off like, you seem like,
yeah, she seems extremely normal.
Yeah, you seem extremely normal.
Like, ironic.
And
I'm just tuning out.
Yeah, it's like, well, that's just how Jimbos and women talk generally.
Yeah, sorry.
But yeah, I'm an
personal.
active listener though. This is why, I do well with women, because I like to listen to them talk and talk and talk.
Awesome.
And talk, yeah. Some more. But the thing is, I think you'll understand this when you're older. Not in a bad way, but I think most artistic people are kind of messed up. Not in like evil, they're just dysfunctional. So it's like, that's why I like, because like you don't sound like you have a drug problem. You sound like you're pretty, like when people were doing like weird stuff, were you participating, or were you kind of like, I don't want to really be part of that?
I don't want to be a part of that, because like, I know you say I'm really young, but when I was like before I went to college, I originally did not want to go to college. I wanted to enlist in the Army, actually the Navy, because I wanted to show my parents that like I deserve their respect, and my dad went through like the Army route, and I wanted to do something similar. But before that, my parents were very disappointed in me, and they like had no hope that I was ever going to like do anything with my life, because when I was in high school, I attribute this to my unmedicated, undocumented ADHD, mixed with like other things. I didn't know like how to I don't know how to like chill out. So then I like
Adderall helps you chill out.
Well, before I didn't start taking Adderall until I was 20.
Okay.
Because my parents were very against like medication.
Yeah.
But when I was like a kid, when I was like 16, 17, I had like a really big drug issue, and because it was a mix of like they helped me like socialize better with people.
Yeah, you're like self-medicating.
It was like a mix of like social acceptance mixed with like the fad that like it was cool to do drugs. Because during this time, sorry, my housemates are yelling, but during this time it was like the big SoundCloud rap era, where everyone was like, sipping lean, doing like
were you sipping lean?
Zans and all that. I was doing a lot of drugs I shouldn't have been doing at that age, as like a way to cope with like a lot of things.
Yeah, I understand. I've been there, not to the same, not the lean, but I know what you're talking about.
So like when I was younger, I had a big drug issue, a big drug abuse problem.
So you turn on like Chief Keef and like start sipping walk.
it was mostly like, honestly, it was mostly like a lot of amphetamine. So it's like I also had like an eating disorder. So I would I'm like half Korean, half white, and
yeah, we established that.
In Korea, like it's very important to be skinny. So I was supposed to go to Korea with my family, and I just did not feel like I was like skinny enough.
Yeah.
And that like I just like felt like all the time like I was constantly pressured to be skinnier and skinnier. So then I was using I started doing a lot of cocaine to lose weight. So I never
it is a good way to lose weight.
You did cocaine in high school?
Yeah, it was really bad.
Is that normal? Does that happen?
That's more a college thing than a high school thing for most, as far as I can tell.
But it wasn't a party drug for me. I was literally only doing it every time I felt hungry
to lose weight.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like
Adderall would have done that.
I know people make fun of it.
But then it also made my grades shot up. So like,
so it was a win-win.
So like I was losing, like every time I felt hungry, I would use like cocaine to suppress my appetite, but then also because I had unmedicated ADHD, it helped me better in the classroom.
Yeah.
And then my grades kind of shot up towards the end of my high school career. And my parents were like, well, maybe you can go to college. Like maybe you have the potential to go to college. And I was like, no, I don't want to go to college. I hate that. I'm going to do the Army. And then my mom got really mad, and she told me that I was going to get raped and murdered if I did the Army. And she said that like, started begging me. She's like, please just go to college. I don't care where you go. Just
that was a realist thing.
College. Just try college.
Your mom's a real one for that.
I was like, I love her so much, and I'm so thankful for her. And I even told them all of this, and like they know all of this too. But I went to college, and I completely stopped doing drugs cold turkey because I couldn't afford it. the reason why I was doing it so much in high school is because I had friends and like I worked a part-time job.
Yeah.
And that's how I was funding it. But in college, I had no income.
And the best part is
I
if
had
you're
no
doing coke while you're working, you work a lot, so you
So the
make
guy
more
who
money.
changed my life was my swim coach. I swam at my college as a walk-on because I knew this girl and she was like, you should start swimming again because I stopped swimming in high school because I wanted to play League of Legends and I hated swimming because
Yeah, that's
I
because you're
felt like I was
Korean, right?
Yeah.
Are you good? Are you good at
So,
League? Are you? Would you say you're good at League?
I haven't played League in a long time, but I do run a few games of TFT every now and
Oh,
then.
okay. Now, you ever play StarCraft?
No, I haven't. I'll
You
say
should. You
truth.
should have played StarCraft because you would have had a home
I
field
played a lot of
advantage with that.
CS:GO, a lot of like PC games,
Yeah, this is,
but
and
yeah.
there's like people in the chat saying you're not autistic, but you really are. Because it's like girls don't usually play or take cocaine just to study. It's not a thing. That's like unless you're neurodivergent. Like I
Yeah,
100% believe you on
it
that.
wasn't ever a party drug. I was literally doing it every time I felt hungry. And like that's the thing, like when I stopped cold turkey, I didn't like have any like withdrawals or like need for it. I was just really scared of gaining weight because I like worked, I didn't work hard. I abused drugs to get that skinny. And I was like, I can't lose this. That's why I was like, yes, I have to start swimming because if I don't exercise, like it's cardio. I was burning like a ton of calories
For sure.
like swimming. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to put all of my effort, all of my energy into swimming so I stay skinny. And my swim coach actually, God bless him, truly, he could tell that I had a bit of a drug issue. And he like, because he doesn't really take walk-ons on the team. Everyone else was recruited and like scouted. But he was like, he straight up told me, I'm taking a chance on you. He's like, I have like a really good feeling that like I think you need this and I need you and I'm putting my chance on you and just don't let me down. And I was like, listen, like I promise you, like I will put my best effort in. And I was out of swimming for like 3 or 4 years. So it was so hard at first, so out of shape. But I put all of my energy into the sport. Even my grades, my first semester weren't even that good because I was so invested in swimming because I didn't care about school at the time. I cared about staying skinny. My mindset was I want to be skinny. That's all I want to do.
Yeah, I mean,
And
honestly,
so,
it's like I'm listening to you talk now, and I can't imagine what you'd be like if you were on coke right now.
Or Adderall. Oh wait, she is on Adderall.
You're on Adderall. How many milligrams of Adderall are you on?
I take 10 milligrams a day.
Okay, that's not much. Yeah. But yeah, no, I totally. And the thing is, I 100% get. So I'm not on anything, but I 100% get the. You actually taking this stuff, and people make fun of it, like, oh, it's coke for. But I 100% get taking that to actually be able to focus and actually be able to calm down to a certain degree.
Yeah, it just helped me like because like I've noticed like my friends like they would like abuse Adderall to like I don't know like do things, but for me it just helps me sit down and like really like focus on the things I'm working on because I'll get like when I don't take it I get really scatterbrained and distracted.
Yeah.
And like I'm trying to do everything at the same time, but it's like I need to sit down and do it one at a time.
Yeah, and you start a task, and all of a sudden you want to do a different task, and then you get like scatterbrained, that sort of thing. Now, somebody asked, why did you stop? You stopped because you didn't have money for it, right? Is that the proper answer?
Yeah, it was. I literally just didn't have funds for it, or I didn't have like a connection to even buy it because I was in I like went to school like 2 to 3 hours away from my house. Like I knew nobody. I saw it as like a fresh start to start over, and I saw swimming as the way to maintain like everything I wanted. Because at this time, I literally didn't care about anything except being skinny. That was like literally the only thing I cared about.
Now, Traxie in the chat says, "Do you look like Somi?"
Who's that?
From it's a K-pop.
Twice.
From Twice. It's if you turn on the screen, you can see it.
Oh, let me go to my computer. I'm in my living room place.
Yeah, if you just go to cozy.tv/paul.town, you'll be able to see, and you can tell us if you feel like you look like this girl or not. What do you think, Jimbo?
Maybe when I had blonde hair, but I don't have blonde hair at the moment.
Oh, okay.
She's not from Twice.
You're not from Twice.
But she's pretty.
Now, would you ever consider making K-pop music?
Honestly, I think it would be awesome. My mom would be so happy. I think it's really like easy to rhyme in Korean because like the ending, like there's endings to each word or sentence based on like formality. So it's like if I keep the same formality for all the sentences, it's really easy to end everything with yo.
Yeah. we'll play the rest of the video later. But so you understand like where you're coming from. Like you ended up doing stuff that was kind of not optimal when you were in high school to get over problems. And couldn't you kind of see it from Raven's perspective and see it from people in that scene's perspective, where they might be a little older, but they're kind of going through the same thing, where they're kind of trying to figure out how to cope with the way their brain works and how they're going through things, and because of that, they haven't gotten to the end of the story yet. They haven't figured out how to balance stuff out like you have. But they're kind of doing a similar sort of self-medication with that sort of stuff.
I guess the biggest difference is like, even though I was like engaging in truly degenerate behavior and like stuff that like like a 16, 17 to 18-year-old girl like should not really be engaging in.
Yeah, it's really not good at any age, to do that sort of stuff.
The difference is I never let that be the catalyst for harming other people. And that's the issue. Like, my biggest issue with all of them. It's like, I don't know how you can even like be okay or like live with yourself knowing you're actively harming other people for no reason. There was cases where
think about for
drugs to minors.
A good example.
I never.
But a good example would be, you did give drugs to minors because you were a minor. And you were giving it to yourself.
No, I didn't really. I didn't. Oh, yeah, I guess I gave it to myself. Yeah, you're right.
So, objection, Your Honor. Incorrect.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but, think about it this way. It's like you're saying, think about the drug trade now. It funds, like, child slavery. It funds prostitution, that sort of stuff. And you were supporting the drug trade when you were in high school.
The thing you gotta know about the drug trade.
Yeah. So, it's like, you say you never hurt anybody, but, that money was going somewhere.
Shut up.
I'm just teasing you. I'm teasing you. But I think that's the thing. I think the big thing is the age. So it's like everything seems super important right now, like the relationship stuff and the drama, that sort of thing. But as you get older, I think you'll realize there are different types of people who engage in this stuff. And once again, if this keeps going on for years, then I can understand. But at the moment, so you don't think there's any chance to make up with Raven? You don't think there's any real path forward where you guys have a reunion tour? And instead of you being punched, you punch somebody?
I believe that if she truly seeks forgiveness for everything she's done, as I've listed before, honesty, accountability, reflection, and growth, I think my respect for her would be held a lot higher. But I myself, I'm not interested in being friends with somebody who hurt a lot of people who are close to me and a lot of people that I care about, and that includes people like Gezebelle, Shooter and his girlfriend Claire. I love Claire so much.
Is Claire is that the girl who does Claro? Is that Claro?
No.
Oh, okay.
She is a normal girl who honestly has her heart in the right place, and I admire her greatly because she always tries to do the right thing. And when I met her, I like saw that almost instantly, and I have like the utmost respect for that girl, truly.
That's awesome. Now, Jimbo, what are your thoughts on the situation? Give us a little Jughead take. Give us some
of all the drama.
Yeah. Well, what's your thoughts?
My opinion, as someone who's not really invested in anyone except for Shooter and Brynn, of course, is that I don't really. I mean, this is stupid because it's drama. So obviously going into it makes a lot of sense. But I don't really care. I think I'm not really upset by. Well, listen, don't laugh, okay? I'm not that upset by like a lot of the things that they keep saying happened where there's victims, because I don't really care. But
aren't they valid?
Think it's Shooter's. Well, I think it's Shooter's scene though. Is my point. And if Shooter feels responsible for it, obviously he should, do what he wants in terms of like removing those people and not giving them influence in like his scene. Like I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people who are like, oh come on, a guy punched a girl. It's like, okay, am I like so broken up about that? Yes, but only because it was Brynn. But otherwise, I wouldn't. But I understand why he is.
Would you say Shooter's a Brynn simp?
That's what everyone's saying that. But you see what I'm saying? It's like I understand where Shooter's coming from in terms of wanting to.
Shooter says, "Why is Jimbo invalidating my trauma?"
I'm not invalidating your trauma. I'm not. Listen. You're valid. You're valid, Shooter. But yeah, I don't know. Like,
I'm just trying to.
Reasonable take?
That is a reasonable take.
I mean,
what do you think? What do you think, Brynn? What do you think is a reasonable take? Do you think he's off base? Do you think he's being a little uncharitable or something?
No, I truly think that he saw a huge issue in this community
Mhm.
that and he felt responsible because, this is a community that he built up from the ground up with MSG and like his own following, that he felt that he had to take responsibility and voice the right thing. And he did that effectively. And I also hold Shooter at the utmost respect and regard because he chose to do that. He wasn't forced to do it. No
Mhm.
one made him do it. He chose to do it because he felt it was the right thing to do.
That's true.
Mhm. Do you think he's culpable for what's going on now? Do you think he should get legal action against him?
Absolutely
It's
not,
his
because
scene.
all the actions have shown that like he has been voicing for the right thing.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I don't think he should get legal problems. Um, yeah. So back to
I think he needs to retain a lawyer.
Do you think this scene is headed in like a weird like sex cult direction where it's becoming a deranged, psychotic, Satanist type of jelqing and self-sucking
I
environment?
think prior to Doomerfest, I think that would have been a huge issue and something that could have resulted in like so many people being harmed and like, being affected from this. But because people like Shooter like use their platforms to voice the right things and to push for correction
Hmm.
and push for like, like a stronger and like more virtuous like community
Yeah.
that he's done everything in his power to like push it towards the right direction. And as I said before, it's like after Doomerfest, there's like a whole new leaf that's being turned
Hmm.
and a whole new direction of music that's catered towards like doing the right thing, following God, and being a good person like through and
So you
through.
think the self-sucking has stopped, or do you think that's going to be an ongoing issue?
Maybe with other individuals who are in disagreement for whatever reason with Shooter and his opinions that align with mine.
Hmm. Okay.
But um I think he's already disavowed that community and they've formed their own
The
community and
self-sucking community.
yeah, and as of now that's their own issue,
Hmm.
but I feel like anyone who has more than half brain cell can see the right way.
Well, do you think
They
premarital
know
do you
the
think
way.
premarital copulation is more of an issue than self-sucking, or do you think that's less? If you were gonna choose, pick your poison. Do you want them to be everyone sleeping with each other, or just the guys self-sucking and then not sleeping with girls?
Why not both? Why not instead of like looking towards like sex and like physical pleasure, but instead like making relationships and like truly loving someone outside of like what they can physically give you and like grow a relation with them and like become married and like engage in sexual acts when you choose to like out of love when you choose to procreate.
Hmm. Yeah, here's Shooter's tip of the day: is don't join an internet cult that influences you to jelk, self-suck, and eat your own cum. I mean, that's probably good advice. At the Weekly Sweat, I think we endorse that advice here. Yeah, but that's the thing. That's like the core, I think, disagreement between us is that I think you have to have these self-suckers and the jelkers, and you have to have the relationship drama because that's what generates the content. Like if everyone was happy, if everyone was having a happy life, nobody would make music. Like think about for yourself. You weren't doing self-sucking, but your music came out of a place. It came out of a place of like discontent, right, with like life. Is that kind of accurate?
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Do you self-suck?
No, I do not self-suck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sorry. Repeat your
Paul
question
Pro
for
self-sucking. Oh yeah, no.
Paul.
I was saying it's like, wouldn't you agree that your music came out of a place of discontent or like angst or anxiety about growing up and trying to find a place where you fit in and that sort of stuff?
100%. I don't Shooter taught me a very valuable lesson to not attribute my own personal change and growth that I chose to do myself with material goods such as music.
Mm-hmm.
But from my experience, I had like an issue with drugs and in a really bad eating disorder. But when
Mm-hmm.
I took instead of taking all that pain and all of that suffering and like using drugs to cope with it,
Mm-hmm.
I switched to like writing music about how it feels as a way of taking everything that was bad and turning it into an art that I could call my own.
Yeah.
And it's why like, I mean, I make music for fun, but people listen to it. But people listen to my music because they feel like someone else felt the same exact way. My song "I Killed Myself in January" was about how I was going to take my own life.
Was it serious
And
or was it kind of like just artistic?
no, it was serious. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's called "I Killed Myself in January" because January 2020, I did some deep reflection, and I hated everything about myself. And I said, you know, like, why am I like this? Why am I this terrible person? There is no redemption. Like, everyone would be better off if I just died.
Mm.
And but my mom's haunting words of, if you kill yourself, you're not going to go to heaven, which I don't know is true or not, because I can't condemn anyone, and it's God's like decision and his choice.
Yeah, it's one of those things you don't
But
really find out until after you do it.
but that was haunting me, because it's like, as I've been Christian growing up my whole life, that I was like, you know, maybe I can redeem myself by becoming a better person, and, you know, changing in a way. So I started making music as a way to cope instead of drugs. And I started making music to take all the hurt feelings instead of using drugs to temporarily feel better.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm proud of my music so far. I'm a singer-songwriter. A lot of my like pride comes from writing lyrics that are specifically like very like connected to me and like who I am.
So you don't
And
plagiarize?
no, I do not
All right, I
plagiarize
just wanted to make
music.
sure.
And I started writing songs about how I fucked up, how I feel. And then when I finished these songs and I released them, it's like, I was like, this was a bad part of my life, but I made something beautiful out of it. It's something I came back and reclaimed and took as my own, and I can use as a lesson learned to help others who may have feel the same way.
Mm-hmm. Now, Jimbo, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think this is a good way to...
What's the question?
Do you think this is a good? Do you think you agree with that? The way she used her pain to really kind of, express herself and take ownership of it was a healthy thing.
Rather than killing herself, yes.
Okay, so you don't endorse her killing herself?
No.
Okay.
Don't kill yourself, Brynn.
Would you be sad if she killed herself?
No, I'd be heartbroken.
All right.
Well, that's good to know. I promise you, I will not be taking
the brain cells would be over.
So would you say if you die in the near future, it's probably Raven who did it?
No. If I died, it would either be because I was murdered or
By Raven?
I hope not. I hope she doesn't try and murder me.
Do you think she would?
I like to give people the benefit of the doubt, and I do not think that he would go to that extent.
Okay.
Good.
Even after this stream, you think?
I think so too, because it's like, I said the truth, and that's something. If she wants forgiveness, then she has to be accepting of the truth.
What if she wants your blood?
That's her own issue. But luckily,
Sounds
I
like
have
your
the
issue.
power of God. Luckily, I have the power of God and anime by my side.
That's true. See, there's just more proof that you're autistic.
Oh, damn.
So, what was the deal with the raccoon on that? I want to know about this. Was that
I'll be right back.
Was that a wizard tower ritual? Was that a satanic ritual, you think?
Okay, so there was this one performer named Raccoon King, whose mom I met. She actually gave me a first aid kit after I was like bleeding from my face. But he's 14 years old, and he's in a community with like older men and stuff who are like listening and like helping him with his music, which is like a whole like other weird thing in of itself that I don't really like have much to like say about other than it's like
it's strange to you.
But they found a dead raccoon somewhere, and because his name is Raccoon King, they were like, let's bring this dead raccoon to the show and then throw it at a crowd of people. And so I don't know about like any like ritual things, but that's just like not hygienic at all. Like, that's like germs and like parasites and like.
But it's cool too,
like,
right?
Touching like a corpse. What?
But it's cool too.
I don't think it's cool. I thought it was gross because people were touching it, and I didn't see anyone wash their hands or use hand sanitizer.
So you don't recommend people touch dead animals?
Yeah, because it's like gross. Like, you should be using like gloves and like washing your hands and stuff. Because like people are like, I don't know, eating and drinking food too, or like touching their face or other people. Like, that's like not hygienic at all. And then also on top of that, like it was just like a bunch of people got sick after Doomerfest. There was like a Doomer plague going around, and it's because of like poor hygiene practices, such as like manhandling a corpse of an animal and then touching it and then not using like any like things to like, I don't know, keep it hygienic in a way.
But you remember, you know about Ozzy Osbourne, right? He one time he was in I think it was Budapest, and he ripped he basically bit into a dead bat and ripped its head off. So there is a historical precedent for this sort of thing. Did anyone bite the raccoon's head off?
I don't think so. I don't believe so. I'm pretty sure I was like sitting, cause like I said, like it was a little hostile at this event. Me and Jez were kind of like pushed off to the side by everyone else. It was like a really cliquey in a way. I originally was supposed to stay at an Airbnb with all the artists there, but they were trying to convince me to ditch Jez because she has enough money to buy a hotel. Like you can stay at the Airbnb, but she can't. Like I'm not gonna abandon my friend. I'm not gonna leave a girl who's not even from the state the venue was at by herself. Like there's something very wrong with them even assuming that I would even do that.
Yeah,
And
girls stick together.
They have to.
Mm-hmm.
So then I made sure, and I was very disappointed and very upset by them trying to like completely ice out a young girl who's there to perform just like everyone else. That I told her that I would stick by her the whole entire time. That I don't care. I don't need everyone else's approval. This is right in my like heart. Like I have to stand by you just because it is the right thing to do. It didn't even have to be Jez. It could have been any girl out there, and I would have done that for them.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, honestly, you sound like you're. It sounds like you're too nice for this scene. It sounds like you're too functional. It seems like this scene is a bit dysfunctional, and it needs people who are, crazy. You know what I mean? You don't seem too crazy to me.
Well, I joined the scene because I love the music and I related to the music and like I felt a connection with the rock music. I used to be emo, like really hardcore in middle school, and then I like loved in high school. I loved Midwest emo and pop punk and like that era of rock music, like math rock and stuff like that. So then I went through a phase of that music, and then rap got like really overplayed, and it's like I miss like guitars and like.
So you did rap
singing
music
about
too?
stuff. I tried to make a rap song to be cool, and it was just cringy.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes for the first few albums for rappers. Would you consider yourself more a rapper or more a acoustic type of person?
Singer-songwriter.
Singer-songwriter, 100% for sure. But originally, I was just using like the internet and like DIY like backing tracks or like writing like chord progressions and like working with other people because I didn't have an electric guitar for a really long time. I just had an acoustic. But then I kept getting like hate because they were like, she's not a real musician. She doesn't even make her own instrumentals. And honestly, like I appreciate the critique because it pushed me to learn how to play the guitar. And I've been practicing playing guitar like I try to practice every single day because muscle memory. It's like
That's
playing
true.
a video game. Like,
that's true.
Like you're gonna lose like your touch. Like if you're like.
She's dropped out.
We lost her.
She's died. Brynn has died. She
phone's
just got killed.
dead.
Raven hacked her phone. Here's the video of the gay ritual as she left.
Yeah, she did drop out.
You back? Yeah, so here's the video of the
we can
humping,
hear her a
the
little
men
bit.
humping each other.
Yeah, me and Jez were not there, and in fact,
Yeah.
invited to that dinner.
So you weren't invited to the gay ritual?
Nope. But
So you think something satanic went down there?
Do you think that was like summoning Baphomet or something?
I just think it was like it's a little bit like brash, and even if I was there, I think I would just like stand and like, cringe really hard, maybe laugh uncomfortably.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't participate in that?
No,
You wouldn't be in the line.
Because I have to admit, I've there's a video of me.
He was there.
There's a video of me doing something similar with something, and
Paul was there.
I have to use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
All right, yeah, take your time. So what do you think, Jimbo? What's is Obama Pills in the call?
Take.
Obama Pills wanted to join. He's a friend of Hitler
Right.
Groiper. Yeah. What is your take about this? The situation, the drama that's unfolding before our eyes.
Wow, it's really good. It's really good stuff. I've been listening the whole time.
We have somebody posted this in the chat. It says, fun fact, Zany was a virgin before I met him. And it's Shooter quote tweeting Zany, and he's saying, Negative XP is not homophobic. He kissed me and held me and told me everything would be okay. So we have some drama here. The chat's trying They're saying the shooter's not being honest. Yeah. Are you there, Obama Pilled?
Yes, sir.
So you're friends with Brynn?
Yeah, good friends.
Okay. Are you like dating her?
No, I'm not. I'm asexual.
Is that what you're saying now? Is that your new identity you decided to adopt instead of your real one?
What do you mean by that? What do you mean?
There's some rumors that you're homosexual.
Nah, that's not right. That's not true.
Okay. You're just Iranian, not a homosexual.
I'm just a white guy.
Okay.
I'm just a Zoomer.
You're just a Zoomer.
Yeah.
Now, what is your whole opinion on this?
Is he really Persian? Is that real?
Yeah, he's Persian.
Cool.
What would you say? What is your take on this whole drama? What is your because
my thoughts on this is that like the incel epunk community is filled with women, and
it's funny how that works, huh?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
So you think it needs to be a purge?
Yeah, it needs to be like more gender.
Kill the women. Oh, yeah. More.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, it should be more gender inclusive. Men, women, asexuals.
What about transgenders?
Transsexuals, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Prior the Doll.
All right, Brynn, you're back.
Welcome back.
Brynn's back.
Do you know Obama Pilled, Brynn?
Yeah, I love Obama Pilled. He's been following me on Twitter for way
Is he a simp, you'd say?
His reputation's fucking over. Sorry, freaking over.
No, has never been a simp. We used to talk on Twitter Spaces.
So you'd hang out like late at night talking to each other?
No, I think I yelled at him one time for being mean to someone, and then after that, he started being nice to people in my Spaces because I told him that like kindness is like the number one thing.
So he's really nice to women.
So he's pussy whipped.
No, not at all.
So he's like a beta, you're saying?
No,
He'd like do anything you tell him.
So you think so? Like to you, like you said like you like nice guys and you like positive people, but like now that you're kind of in the presence of one, it's like no.
What do you mean?
Like he doesn't. You don't find you don't find Obama Pilled attractive. You're saying?
Yeah. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
Never seen Obama Pilled.
Would you date Obama Pilled, do you think?
It depends on a number of factors.
He's Iranian.
Wait, Brynn, how tall are you? How tall are you?
I'm 5'5.5", exactly.
That's the same height. I'm literally 5'5".
Oh boy, this is not. This is.
Well,
match
I'm
made.
taller than you because I'm 5'5.5".
No, I'm like 5'5", almost 5'6", but you know, I just say I'm 5'5".
Well, Brynn, would you say you have a crush on? Would you have a crush? You have a crush on Obama Pilled?
No.
So what are you saying then?
So you're saying he's a beta?
Am I a beta or a sigma?
No.
Is he a sigma male?
I haven't seen Obama Pilled's DMs, but I'm sure the e-girls are like DMing him like crazy.
Is that real? Wait.
Why aren't you DMing him then? Because you're an e-girl.
What do you mean?
You're an e-girl too. You're a girl on the internet. Why? And you're like a musical artist, so like you're the ultimate e-girl. Why aren't you DMing him then?
I don't know.
Yeah, explain yourself, Brynn.
I don't know. I don't DM dudes like that. I just I don't know. I just hang out. I'm a friend to everybody.
Okay.
Is it because I'm brown? Is it because I'm a POC? Is that why?
No.
Brynn, are you racist?
No.
Hitler Groiper. Do you not like brown people?
No.
Oh, so the esoteric Hitlerism is ironic.
Yeah, that's a joke, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. I'm sure it is for everyone else too.
I'm getting DMs from Zany. He says you're lying.
I think I just got a DM from Raven that says that you're like secretly racist.
Oh, well, I love POC people.
I love all people of color.
I don't.
I love all people, not POC and non-POC. I like them all.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm getting. I have to be because I'm the host of Weekly Sweat. Well, Jimbo is. I'm the sidekick of it because it's his idea.
But you're getting the DM.
But yeah, I'm getting a DM, so I have to. So I'm getting a DM from both people, and they're saying that the girl that you're talking about who sent the nudes, she sent them to 30. It's a group chat, so it wasn't just Raven didn't save them. It was sent to group chats prior, and so she.
That's not what this girl told me. That is not what that girl told me at all.
Well, do you think it's possible she was lying?
I don't think so because when listening to her story, like she gave me a huge timeline
Mm-hmm.
of everything that happened, and it made sense. There was consistency and continuity, and there's no doubt in my like heart or brain
Mm-hmm.
that like this girl is not telling the truth.
Okay. Well,
Wait,
yeah.
Brynn, so do you think women don't lie? Like, you believe all women?
I mean, Raven's also a woman.
So you
I
believe
thought
her?
Raven was trans. Oh.
I don't believe she's trans. I think
Yeah, I
this
don't
was
believe
just
that
like
either. I
her
don't think she's trans.
whole appearance, which I also don't agree with.
Yeah, and then also, so to be fair to Raven, she did take accountability for the Gezebelle, Gebervely stuff. Afterwards, she kind of released a statement on it.
Well, this is what actually happened. She
Mm-hmm.
released a statement because originally Jez felt uncomfortable she was a headline. Like, she makes really good music and she's a very talented artist. I'm so proud of her. And I try to tell her every day
Yeah,
how
she's
proud I
awesome.
am of her.
Honestly, I would say some of her music I've played it actually on the stream before because it's really, really good.
She's so musically talented. I'm so proud of her. And she straight up told me that she originally was going to drop out of Doomerfest
Mm-hmm.
because she felt uncomfortable. And Raven sent her an apology video, but it was like very like, you know how when someone just apologizes just so you stop being mad at them? It lacked
That's what I do to
genuineness.
people. Yeah.
And and also like her future like actions towards her just continued to prove that like her apology wasn't genuine, but it was more like pandering to her fans and like her community because a lot of people
The
were
Ravens
truly going
fans. Mm-hmm.
for Jez. And also how she treated us at Doomerfest was very cold and uninclusive and just like mean. It felt like bullying, to be honest. And it's like, how are you gonna like just bully someone? Like everyone there is like a social outcast of some way. That's how we all like relate to each other. It's because we all feel like we don't belong. And so like, how are you just gonna do the same thing to everyone who's already felt like that before?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. So it's
Yeah.
just like a he said, she said at this point with this certain things because, she's.
And I don't even know who he or she is in most.
It's
of
a she said thing.
Oh. Okay.
But yeah, so Obama Pill wanted to come on. What would you want to say, Obama Pill? Because you're a bit closer to this whole scene than I am.
Yeah, I'm like very familiar with all this epunk lore.
Yeah.
I'm like I'm a big incel head. Although I'm a simp also,
Mm-hmm.
and
a homosexual.
POC. No.
He's just gay.
Yeah. Now, Brynn, are you
No
upset
offense.
if Obama Pill he's gay? Do you have a feeling? Like, do you like kind of look down on him for that?
My business what people do in their own personal lives.
So you're a libertarian.
I guess,
Are you
yeah.
like an anarchist?
Based.
Do you like Stirner, Max Stirner?
I'm not too familiar.
Shut up, Obama. Don't ignore him.
Ignore the homosexual. Well, yeah. Do you have some questions, Obama Pill, for Brynn?
Yeah, Brynn. So, like, if you could recreate that punch, but like instead it was a woman punching a man, thoughts? like whatever was.
Well, I think consent is number one.
That's
and
what
if
I
a
always
woman,
say.
That's
if a woman wanted to punch a man, I feel like I have a video of Gezebelle punching a guy in the face, but in the video he says, "I consent to this punch."
This is how you
Please
know
punch
this is
me
a completely
as hard as you
autistic
can."
scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
consent
I
matters.
would-
Yeah.
I would play the video. Actually, I could DM you with a video and you can play it.
Yeah, I'll play
You
it.
should
I'll play it.
DM
Yeah,
me.
DM me the video and I'll play it. Are you gonna DM
Okay.
on Twitter or
Yeah,
let's do it on
Twitter.
Discord is better because I can then open it up.
Discord's better?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll send it to you on Discord. But yeah, he's like, I consent to this punch, and Gezebelle punched. Her knuckles got bruised by how hard she punched him. I filmed it, and you can hear me cackle really ugly, but like, it's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like a witch.
So you consider yourself a witch?
Oh, absolutely not. Nope.
You're not part of that subculture?
No, I don't even like to joke about it just because like I just don't even want to be affiliated with that kind of stuff. It goes against my religion and my beliefs very strongly.
Okay, I just wanted to clear that up. Good thing we cleared it up. So what are your read on the situation? Do you think Raven's innocent? Raven's guilty? Do you think?
My read is I'm kind of like a neutral party as a man on one side because men don't like women, but also on this other side is like a kind of a person of color who's like lived different kinds of life experiences.
Here we go. I sent it to you.
That's awesome.
I sent it in
That's
the
what I think.
So you don't really get involved?
I get involved. I say my things. I do my dirty business.
Oh,
But
there we go.
You do dirty business.
Oh,
I'll
shout
end
out to
this.
Below
Please don't hold back.
Cowboy Joker. I think they're also really great and amazing people.
shout out to Negative XP and Nick Fuentes and Sam Hyde
And school
Donald Trump.
shooter.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you?
Okay, I sent the video. Play it.
I will. Oh, but don't be bossy, or else
Oh,
this whole
sorry,
tone
sorry.
is. I'm gonna start becoming a
Whoa!
Raven.
Watch the
I'm
tone.
gonna start becoming
My
a Raven loyalist if you watch. All
Send this.
right, we're gonna play the video here. Now I haven't seen this, so this might be she might be punking. This might just be hardcore gore or something, but we'll see. We'll see what happens here. All right.
Please
Need
don't
the
hold back.
volume.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Hit him
turn it up.
hard.
Let me
Hit him
put my cigarette
hard.
down. Yes. Ah!
This
Hit him
is
so
what
hard
a
you break your
consensual
Let's go!
punch in the face looks like.
All right. Let's see that again. Let's see the point where.
Or
the
you
punch.
break your own.
Let's go.
So you think it's appropriate for a woman to punch a man, but not a man to punch a woman?
Well, can you play the beginning of the video where he says, "I consent to
All right.
this"?
Well, I'll play the
Run it
beginning
back,
of the video.
run it back.
Run it back. All right. Hey,
Send this. Please don't hold back. Let's go.
Hit him hard.
Let me
Hit
put
him
my cigarette
hard.
down. Yes.
So that's the key.
Ah!
Yes.
Hit him so
I
hard you
consent
break
to
your
this.
own.
Let's go.
Don't hold back. He said, "I consent to this, and don't hold back." He said that on camera, on film, and he had time to prepare, and he saw it, and he knew exactly when it was coming.
Right.
Do you think he was like manipulated into it, or he was pressured? Maybe you couldn't say
No,
no.
he asked. Originally he asked me, but I was just punched in the face, and I like really didn't want to. And since me and Jez like planned to stick together the whole time, he asked Jez if she could punch him in the face, and I said, "Yeah, you should do it." And then she said, "Okay," and then they agreed to it, and then they asked me to film it, and I filmed this video.
Okay.
She's wearing a Baked Alaska shirt. Did you notice
Yeah.
that?
Is that a Baked Alaska shirt?
Yeah.
Or just the eagle?
Well,
Yeah, she's wearing.
I mean,
the-
it basically.
Well,
I mean, it's
yeah,
basically
it's
the shirt he
Americana.
wears. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so that happened after the punch. That happened after
Yeah.
the original. So it seems like honestly, it wasn't the punch was obviously it was unpleasant, but it seems like the mood was a bit more jovial in the immediate after the punch.
Yeah, but when a guy puts his absolute most into a punch
Mhm.
to the point
Right.
where not only I was like physically injured,
Yeah.
but like he also broke a bass amp, and then people were cheering to do it again, and like no one was like really like helping me.
Mhm.
Like it's just really bad. It's a really really bad look, and it says a lot.
It does say a lot. I do.
Men are
agree.
more powerful than women.
That's true.
the thing.
Yeah, I don't think either should. I don't think men or women should hit each other. I don't think it's a because it always it ends
here's
up.
my
In
take.
yeah, give your take, Obama. Phil.
Brynn, here's my take. Maybe this could all be avoided: the men punching women, the woman punching men. If we just stopped with the violence and we just kind of like just got along and we just
so
talked
right.
to
Smoked
people.
weed.
Yeah,
That's
we just
I think you're so right. I think violence should be taken out, and it should be focused on music because that's what we're all like here for.
and love and like we should all just be like hippies, man. We should all be like just cool, chill.
No, not hippies. I think you should. Personally, I'm very biased, but I feel like if everyone like held like Christian values and put God first, and like love
And
thy
America
neighbor
first.
as
Yeah.
thyself, like I think the world would be a better place.
Have you thought about transitioning from like music to getting involved with political stuff?
I think it'd be interesting. I wrote like a really, really long economic thesis on monetary policy. I don't know if you guys are familiar with MMT, but
Yes,
I wrote
I know
a
postmodern.
Did you
yeah.
read it? for
Modern
us?
monetary
Keynesian.
policy.
I'm actually familiar with Keynesian theory. Yeah, I've read that.
What does MMT stand for?
modern monetary theory.
Oh, theory. Okay.
Like I'm trying to work to like really like get this thesis refined and possibly published, and I would love to write a book about it. I think that would be amazing. It's something that I want to do before I die.
You can write it. It is the thesis or something. You could call it that.
It's 30 pages long. If you want to read it, I can send it to you. But it discusses like the history of financial systems, relating to historical context, economic
jewelry.
theory.
Does it talk about? Yeah, like Jimbo said, world
Jews.
jewelry. Does
Talk about international banks or like the World Economic
Yeah.
Forum, the Jews or just whatever.
Yeah, it does. Oh, okay.
This is a base thesis.
Awesome.
Okay, Brynn, since you're like economical and musical talented, you should like stream on Cozy TV, man. We need more.
Shut up.
Yeah, His streams for sure.
That'd be awesome.
You
Yeah.
could be a co-host on the Weekly Sweat.
Oh yeah, I'd love to.
I don't know. That's kind of a joke because this is a one-off episode.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
Yeah, it's trolled. But yeah, so I don't know. I feel like we've gotten what we're gonna get out of this interview. I think we've cleared the air a bit. Maybe we'll have Raven on and
Bring Raven and Shooter on.
yeah. Do you think there'd be benefit from that if there was an open dialogue between the two camps, or do you think it's better to give people distance and that sort of thing?
Debate with a moderator or two.
Yeah.
it would be important to have a moderator for sure, but I cannot see it being something that's feasible just because I think that there would be a lot. I don't think both sides would agree, but if you could somehow get both sides to agree to have civil discourse,
Paul's friends with
regarding
her, and
I'm
I'm
friends.
Team Shooter.
Well, you're just a pot stirrer, Jimbo.
Yeah.
You're just doing everything.
I'm the one who plays both sides.
You're just the drama
Definitely.
queen.
Right.
I'm just
Of
the
course.
innocent. I'm just trying
Yeah,
to.
you never participate.
Well, the
in
thing is,
that.
like, I'm trying to, like, Brynn, would you say I've been fair to both sides tonight? Like, I've been done a good job of kind of trying to see both sides and not stir the pot.
job,
Mhm.
and I'm proud of you too. I think you did great.
I'm proud of me too. Yeah. Thank you.
What
Yeah.
about me? Did I do a great job being a moderate?
I think you did a great job as well.
Who do you think
Thank
did a
you
better
so
job,
much.
though? Do you think?
On a scale of 1 to 10, who's better?
Who do you think did a better job of being, asking questions, being a good interviewer, being
Oh, okay.
cordial,
all right.
and that sort of stuff? Who do you think it would be?
Who's
me or
cooler?
Jimbo?
Who's more awesome?
Okay. I
Who's
like
hotter?
you both, but I think Paul did a better job.
That's
Yes.
awesome.
Wow.
I agree
I
with
don't know.
that. You hear that?
Was it because I
Jimbo?
wasn't listening for half of it?
Does it make you upset when men don't listen? When you're pouring your heart out, you're being honest, you're being vulnerable, and
I'm
people
so
just...
sorry. I was trying. I swear.
So Jimbo's. Before we go, Jimbo's. He wants some help with dealing with women. It's like, what's important for? Since Jimbo's looking for a wife right now, like, what would be like the things he could
you have
focus
any
on,
advice?
work on, be better at? In terms
Tips
of
and tricks.
yeah.
Tips and tricks. Do you have any pickup lines?
Well, you have to learn to love yourself before you love anyone else. So I would
Mm.
say just focus on, truly becoming happy with who you are and pushing to do the best you can for yourself. Because how can you help other people if you can't help yourself first? And I think just be nice and I don't know, when you're nice to girls, they love it.
But wouldn't
And
you
I
say
think
that Raven's been helping herself to all the men in the scene?
Do you think she loves herself?
Yeah, wouldn't
Or
you
she
say-
loves you? Maybe.
I think she has some issues that she needs to work. I think she needs to work on a lot of deep self-reflection and try to work on herself before
Mhm.
she, because a lot of her actions have harmed other people, and that just shows that if
That's
she's
dark
harming other
trio. That's
people,
awesome.
probably she's probably hurting on the inside as well.
Mhm. Yeah, well, so everyone's watching. This is the whole epunk scene is watching right now. What message, what advice, what sort of you guys messed up, or you guys, I appreciate this aspect of what you guys have done for me, or you really hurt me in this way. What if you could give a kind of a closing statement or sort of advice or thoughts about the scene? What would you say?
Well, the scene started through a love and passion for music, and a community was created through this passion and love. And the music came from, people going through the same struggles, and it's important to, express yourself but express yourself honestly and genuinely,
Mhm.
and to do the right thing and to encourage other people to do the right thing too. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
I mean, honestly, I think Jimbo would probably agree with me. I would say you sound like a very, very nice person, very sweet person.
Yeah, you
And-
sound more normal and probably
More normal than most
Just
internet people.
and probably anyone in the epunk scene.
Well, except for Shooter and Raven
Oh, yeah,
and Zany.
Sorry.
You're a sweet girl. You're a
You're a
sweet,
sweet
nice
girl. Yeah, now,
We'd love to have
Yo, Pompil, if you could give any advice to Brynn, what would it be?
As an older man, as an experience.
Yeah, as an experienced man.
I think actually you're older than me, but the point is, I'd like to just help you out in all kinds of ways, Brynn.
What does
And I
that
think
mean?
and I think that Brynn, you need to just respect yourself, love yourself, and and
I think you're so right. I think you're so right too.
and I think you need to also like understand that the harsh realities of the world, of men, of women. You need to take the red pill.
You're dying.
Yeah.
I would like to inform everyone that I am red pilled and I am based.
Dude, do you agree with that, Jimbo? Do you think she's red pilled and based, or do you think she's
Yeah,
faking
she
it?
sounded like it. She sounded like she's really hardcore right wing.
Yeah, you're like trad, right?
I don't like to have labels define me because I'm me. I'm Brynn.
She's
So
Brynn
true.
pilled. She's Brynn pilled.
Yeah, we've
I'm
all been
Obama.
Bryn pilled. Yeah, Obama's been Obama pilled. All right. Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Bryn, for coming on. I appreciate it. I hope this was enjoyable. I hope you don't feel like we wasted your time or anything. I think everyone benefited. We had fun. We joked around a bit.
It
Yeah.
was
Of course,
great
you
to
have to
talk
tell
to
me.
Hitler Groiper.
Yeah, it's a good username, Hitler Groiper. It's that's when I knew it was going to be a good interview.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, so you can hang out whenever you feel like it, or you can hang out if you want. We're gonna end the show. We're gonna close it out.
Now for the after show.
The after show with you get into the real
We're gonna have
drama.
after party with drinks and
Yeah, we're gonna go
drugs.
punch each other.
we're gonna play music. We're gonna...
Hmm. Who do you think would be a better a musician, Jimbo or Obama pilled or me?
Can I hear you guys sing?
First,
Just like a little bit.
Okay.
What do you want us to sing though?
Yeah, choose a song.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh, that works too.
The meme song. Come on.
Well,
Do it.
you can say, well, how about instead of singing, because that would be kind of awkward because we don't have the backing. How about you just by the tenor of our voices, by the rich tones of our voices, you can decide.
Can you?
Yes, King Slay.
Yeah, I think Obama pilled wins by default because he's the only one dumb enough.
Let me just look up the lyrics of the song.
Oh, I was a rapper too. I know you did some rapping. I did some rapping too. I did one song about Anne Frank.
She's a cool girl.
Anne Frank tatted on his face.
Oh yeah, that guy. What is he up to? He's probably working at a job right now, a nice job.
Working in a field, more like.
Yeah. But anyway.
I can ride my bike with no handlebars. No handlebars.
All right, he just lost.
No.
It might not be Obama pilled. Was the best
I
singer.
can ride my bike with no handlebars.
All right, so Jimbo, do you have anything to close out the show?
Thanks everyone for coming out to the first episode of the Weekly Sweat. We returned this week. The epunk, the estrogen scene. We might be back next week with Shooter and Raven. Oh,
And Zany.
And Zany also.
Also,
and
the guy who punched Brynn.
Yeah, and the guy who punched Brynn. We're gonna get his side of things. We're gonna interview the guy who punched Brynn for 3 hours about
Blood
everything.
sports.
Mm-hmm.
And
Literally.
it's gonna be awesome. So tune in. Make sure you follow Brynn. Thank you, Obama pilled. Thank you, everyone who donated and came out.
Yeah, I think Brynn might be the official mascot of the Weekly Sweat from now on.
And shout out to Death Radio Records. I have a song with them coming out soon.
Yeah, promote your stuff. Tell people how to find you. Tell people what's coming up.
Yeah.
Promote your stuff.
I mostly am active on Twitter under Brynn Mish. My SoundCloud is where I release majority of my music. It's Brynn with like a broken heart. I'll put it in chat.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much it. Just if you look up Brynn Mish, usually all my stuff comes up.
All right, sounds good.
Based.
Well, thank you, Brynn. I want to give you a genuine thanks because I'm sure it's hard to talk about this sort of stuff, so it's enjoyable. And I want to give a shout out to everybody in the epunk scene, whether it's Raven, whether it's Zany, whether it's the guy that punched Brynn. You guys, you have your differences, but I think as you get older, you'll you'll have a reunion tour, and it'll be like Pink Floyd getting back together, and they're all 60 years old, and it'll be as exciting as that. So I think that's a good note to end it on. What song should we play? A Gezebelle Geberbly song as we go out? You think, Brynn?
Like a
You
negative
should play
experience.
Hose Mad.
Hose Mad by Gezebelle Geberbly?
No, Hose Mad by I think Famous Dex.
Oh, it has to. No,
Mad.
that's not. It has to be. It has to be.
It's gotta be on theme.
It has to be an epunk song.
Oh, okay. Then play I Can Fix Him by Jez.
All right, that's kind of a troll by you there.
That's a good song.
Ooh,
That's kind of a shot fired as you leave.
damn.
Don't you kind of think that's a mean way to end? We will end on that, but don't you think that's a shot fired at the end?
Not at all. It's a great song.
All right, this is how I know you're psycho. All right. But first I need to load it up here. But yeah, thank you everybody for coming out. This has been what a great show. I'm glad I spent the 10 minutes to make that introduction. But here we go. We're going to play it.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, yes. Thanks for having me. And Obama Pilled.
Thank you for having me.
Obama Pilled, thank you
You're
for
so
your
welcome.
contribution. You made the stream, Obama Pilled.
True.
All right.
I love Obama Pilled. I'm Obama Pilled.
Yeah, you guys are dating now. Okay, we'll see you guys later.
Oh my god. So great.
Bye-bye.
We are so in love. The only thing is, there's like a ring.
Can you say the N-word now?
Just don't mute. No, you can say here.
You can be in here.
Just keep talking.
Just talk over it.
Yeah.
I'm never.
Yeah, it acts like you're on crack. You might ignore my love.
So, Obama, what have you been up to, huh?
Nothing much more just slow. Trying to
Alright, Brynn, now's your chance to insult
That's
people.
awesome.
Now's your chance to inflame the tensions.
I wanted to get started with Trey, but I would have been hot.
Trey goes to every state and plays street.
Trey is such a like a racist, but
But don't you think it was kind of mean to play the song at the end?
Oh, not at all. Not at all.
Doesn't it seem like you're being a mean girl here in a sorority?
Sure.
You're Stacy Pilled.
You're Stacy Pilled. This is like that movie Heathers. This is what somebody in Heathers would do.
Murder somebody?
Yeah. So, Brynn, would you date Jimbo after this conversation?
I like that we're pretending the stream's ended.
Would you?
Is it hesitant?
No.
Would you debate? Would you date Jimbo, Brynn?
How old is he, first of all?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm 20.
Sorry, but I prefer guys who are like my age or older.
So you only prefer old men? That's a classic answer. But isn't he mature for his age?
You wouldn't convert to Mormonism for me?
No, I wouldn't.
That's
My faith is
Jimbo is 37 years old.
I was lying. I'm 37 years old.
old.
I'm 25 years old.
Now you're lying.
I would never.
Oh, we went to the diner after one of the shows, and this like guy, I'm pretty sure he had like autism, and he came up to us and kept talking about us because one of our friends was wearing clown makeup, and he said he's a part of the circus, like the local one. And then he was like, we're like, how old are you? And he goes, 24. And we're like, oh, that's cool. And then he goes, if I was 27 though, I would definitely lie and say that I was 24.
27's a good age for a guy.
That's a pretty good age. That's the best.
27. But then he did a split for us, and then he said he had like a bobcat and a raccoon in his house.
But yeah, 27's like ancient. That's too old.
Too old.
Better be 19.
It's starting to the point in your life. You should be having a family at that point.
Yeah, if you don't have a family by the time you're 27, it's over.
Yeah, big time.
What about if you're 19? Is that too old?
Brynn's just ending the show by trashing everybody.
Brynn, you're such a good girl. You're such a trad good girl.
What is that?
What would this friend like?
Good girl. You're my little kitten, right?
It's so open.
Right? Oh wait, the stream's not over?
Oh no!
The song's not over, so the stream's not over.
Yeah, but
How
you have
long
to
is
wait.
this song, man?
He's got 13 seconds left.
This song is 14 seconds and 88 minutes.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, good one, Obama.
That's fair. That was fair.
It's over, but we're back.
Yeah. We're snail pilled. Alright, well, on that note, on that sneak diss that Brynn just ordered the hit on, we're going to end the stream. Thank you for watching, and drink some water if you're not drinking water, because you're going to die otherwise. And we'll be back with another Weekly Sweat, the real Weekly Sweat, with Jimbo Zoomer as the host, and me as the co-host.
And Paul Town.
Only as the small co-host. We'll be
Right.
back next week. We will see you guys later. Goodbye.